Hello. We are with you for the A7 Primetime session on Friday as we see Jennifer Thompson start us off with her opener. Welcome to you. I'm here with Elliot Feldman.
Hey, how are you doing, Bryce?
I'm excellent. Man, this is a hype session. I'm looking forward to this one. We have some phenomenal lifting looking forward to. For you guys tuning in, we've got this 63-kilo women's class. We have the 83-kilo men's class, and we'll be looking back and forth between those as we see Abby Citron take her opener.
All right, and for Jen Thompson, that's the last time we're going to be seeing her leading off a discipline. She's got an amazing bench, an amazing deadlift. Abby's up here now, 137.5, and she's good, 3 white lights. So this, again, is the A7 Primetime session on Friday here, 2018 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. Solana Lewis is up now, 140 kilos.
Solana comes to us from New Jersey as she starts off with her opening squat. This is well below her best of 157.5. So we're going to see these lifters kind of build from here up to, in most cases, something better than they've ever done before.
Yep, definitely. I mean, right now we're looking at the American record in this discipline, in this weight class right now is 182.5 kilos.
Yeah, by Megan Scanlon, who we
Yep.
just saw compete last night, actually, and take the win in the 57-kilo class.
Yep.
So having set the record in the 63-kilo class, she dropped down a class and still strong enough to dominantly finish that class.
Right, and I think there's a chance, an outside chance, that we might see that hit. I don't know, but it's just, so this is kind of where we're starting right here.
Yeah.
Brenna Patterson's up now. Where's she from, Bryce?
Brenna is from Orange, California.
There you go. Get a nice deep breath there.
Now the big shape up in the 63-kilo class is looking like Jennifer Thompson, who has been dominant in this class for quite a while, to Samantha Calhoun, who is just a freak. Both of these guys were at IPF Worlds this past year, both these females, and just ready to see what they're capable of. So as we start to see subtotals, as we see kind of how things are shaping up in the subtotal, we're going to see what's going to happen for the total and what's going to happen for that gold medal finish. Jennifer Combs coming up here. She is new to USA Powerlifting. She's from Washington here, so home state for her.
Yeah, we find that local participation grows wherever the sport is, obviously, in what region. So we have a lot more West Coast athletes here than we would if we were on the East Coast or down south.
Absolutely.
All right, so Stephanie Scoville's up now, 147.5 kilos.
So we saw Jennifer Thompson start us off, and as one of the lifters to contend to take the gold here. It's unusual to see a lifter open so light, but that's characteristic of what Jennifer does.
Very smart.
On the squat and on the deadlift as well, and then take sometimes 30 or 40 kilo jumps up to a second attempt on the deadlift.
Exactly. And so the squat, as she will say, and she told me just a little while ago, that's the hard thing for her. And you know that the bench and the deadlift, I won't say they've come easily, but they've moved a lot better for her, and they're elite weapons for her.
Yeah.
So the squat's always hard for her. She said training went really, really well. It's tough.
Nice opener for Scoville.
It's very easy.
That's only 10 kilos below her best, which she set only in May. So we're looking to see some progress from Stephanie.
So the dedication of these top lifters to this sport is just amazing. And it's really dedication to yourself.
It absolutely is.
It's a lifestyle, and I know that I think one of the reasons that you and I get along is because of that same shared dedication, that same camaraderie to the sport.
Arthi Nihi here, she competed at the Arnold earlier this year and had a perfect 9-for-9 day, finishing up with a huge 175-kilo deadlift.
That's awesome.
Looks like she's been to all the big meets, Raw Nationals 2016, 2017, and just came off of Collegiate Nationals earlier this year.
She did very well, Collegiate Nationals. Good show. Being coached by Josh Rohr, I think, there.
Yeah, it looks like. Fantastic.
Beautiful 3 white lights for her.
Getting towards the end of these openers now, we get to start to see our 3 heaviest openers coming first from Jasmine Penn. 336 pounds, 152.5 kilos. Jasmine is an up-and-comer from Texas. She's got a pretty big training crew out there. And her biggest squat is 175 kilos from earlier this year. She is definitely in the mix for this top 3. I think she's an underdog looking to come and make some waves.
Yeah, she definitely could. You know, the thing about the 63 kilo class is that 4 years ago, the only person that was around in powerlifting was Jen Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of these athletes in here in this flight in this 63 kilo women's class are all what I would say are new to the sport.
Yeah.
It's just amazing the gains that were made.
Yeah, it shows you how far the sport has come. Notice, by the way, this lifter has gone racks in, so the uprights are in, allowing usually for more space for the hands to get closer to the pins, but it also makes the unrack a little bit more stable for narrower, smaller lifters.
Yeah, and some of the female lifters really seem to like having just that little edge, that smaller lip to get over when you tip it in. Obviously, instead of being square to it, you're at an angle to that lip. And some of them have told, some female lifters have told me they don't like having the full lip. They like to be able to kind of bounce it out almost over that little, as if they're using a jack almost to kind of get it out.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, here comes Samantha Calhoun.
Sam Calhoun, one of the 2 lifters we're watching for that gold and silver medal battle that's shaping up.
Yep, and so she said her training was absolutely awesome, it was great. So, she's ready to go there. She gets a deep breath.
Whoa, that's a good start.
Being coached by Matt and Susie.
Yep.
Matt and Susie Gary.
Who have handled her at the last few meets to outstanding effect. I think 9 for 9 performances at 2 huge meets. She came off of a win at the World Championship. At the World Championships, which she just went to.
Correct. Did very well.
Not a win.
Came in.
She finished with a massive deadlift.
All right.
Decided to take the secure deadlift.
Here is Jennifer Milliken moving up. It's her first nationals at 63 kilos. She's just moved up from 57. She said it was the best training cycle she's ever had. Everything feels great. And she said, and I asked her, I said, let me ask you what feels the best, or let me prompt you as to what feels the best. Your joints feel way better. She said, yeah, my body's taking less of a beating now, not having to cut weight. She didn't put on weight as much as she just didn't cut.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And so I know for me, the hips a little bit makes them feel better.
Oh,
look at that.
She smoked that.
Yep.
What's interesting is how fast Jennifer descends on that squat. She just flies down there and manages to keep stability and just come up, make it happen.
Yeah, and that's 167.5. Her best right now is at 180, but I have a feeling she's going to smoke that. And her bench is really flying now, she said. So it's going to be interesting.
We're off and into second attempts as Abby Citron takes 314, 142.5 kilos.
Yep. This is exciting. I'm happy for this. We got such great production. There's Coach Bill McCarthy there on the side, screaming orders.
If you guys are tuning in, by the way, for the 83 kilo session, there will be no break as we go directly from the end of third attempts here directly into that session.
Correct. And if you folks want to follow at home on the score sheet, you can go to liftingcast.com, look up day 2, and you're going to look for the are we on 3 right now?
I think this is platform 3.
Platform 3. So you can look for platform 3, day 2. And here comes Jennifer Thompson, 145 kilo second attempt. And again, her best ever is 155.
Which she said at the Arnold earlier this year.
Yes, that's right. As was her total, I believe, the 499.5. So someone, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's a whole 10 kilos off her best, and I don't think she has too much left in her. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like,
what
that 10
happens?
Kilos can shape up later for the total.
Yeah, because that was definitely not a technique issue. That just looked heavy, but,
Well, you were saying earlier she was the most concerned about squats.
Well, always, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that she talked to me about.
So Lana Lewis coming out with 150 kilos.
Yeah, but whoever wins this class is going over 500 kilos. It's going to be the first time it's ever been done. So it's a big deal in this class.
Solana makes quick work of that second attempt.
Wow.
She's coming from Clifton, New Jersey. Yeah, I think Jennifer's main goal was to crack 500 kilos on the total.
Yeah.
She hit 499.5, that little bit off.
And that was at the Arnold, correct? Was that
At the Arnold, yeah.
At the Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
And so 500 is a big number, but I'm willing to bet we're going to see two people go over 500. They may have to go over 500 on their seconds to really win this thing. It's going to be tough. This is going to come down tight. These 63 and the men's 83s are just going to be brutal battles, and that's what we love, man. That's what we live for.
Absolutely. And I think it's going to come down to made lifts, last deadlifts. As a viewer, as an announcer, that's exactly what we want when we're looking at this. Wow, it's a great second attempt for Brenna Patterson.
That's awesome. And so as we move into third attempt squats, we're coming up on our seconds right now, and something to keep a watch on is that historically, through national and international meets, high-level contests, if you miss your third attempt squat, you have an almost 0% chance of making your third attempt deadlift. So we'll have to watch that as things go along. Are people going to balance that out and try to maybe pull back in the squat a little bit so that they can extend in the deadlift? Now, why it happens, we can argue all day long. You and I have had this discussion before about why it happens, but we know it happens.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
It's an observable fact.
Stephanie Scoville here must have had a great training cycle. This is just 2.5 kilos below her all-time best, which she set earlier this year in May on her second. So we're going to see some room on her third.
And again, she's in the part of her career where things start moving very quickly. Your waist can go up from year to year dramatically. Boy, I just like her setup there. Wow.
Quick work of that second attempt.
It's going to be interesting to see where we go now that we know that that's her.
After Stephanie, we're taking the bar to Arthi Nehi, coming from Atlanta, coming off that big win at the Arnold earlier this year. Racks in for Arthi as well. See the patience on her face as she works through that squat. I think she's got some room for a third attempt there. She looks like the kind of lifter who can really stay with a slow squat and get it through. It's really nice to see that. Just patience is something that's hard to earn on squats especially. It's kind of easy to give up on squats a little soon, especially as newer lifters, and that's a skill that you can actually work on and develop over time. Taking the bar to Jennifer Combs on her second squat. She takes 160 kilos, 352 pounds. Low bar squatter. It's interesting. It looks like a little bit of a hip shift on the way down. Can't quite finish that squat out.
No.
Spotters help her take that back in.
That's a big squat.
It is. I think she can get that on the third. It looks like she was a little tentative on the way down. I did see a little bit of a hip shift. We're going to see if maybe that was a technical error or maybe some pains or something like that. Okay, Calhoun, one of our top two coming in, 162.5. Speaking of progress, this is only 2.5 kilos below her best, coming from a lifter who's competed at a world championship. If you guys are just tuning in, this is the A7 Friday Primetime session at Raw Nationals 2017.
Samantha comes to us. She was a track star at University of Nevada, and didn't even know powerlifting existed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. It's going to be a good day.
Has 3 white lights. That's awesome for her right there. That was 162.5.
Man, I wonder if she can start to smell a little bit of weakness from Jennifer Thompson on that second squat.
Yeah. I mean, she's got to make hay in the in the squat here because she's
Yeah.
going to lose some distance in the deadlift. And so it's going to be interesting to see, again, balance out what she does on the third. Do you try and make it and pick up another just 5 kilos maybe or 2.5 kilos to try to work into the bench, hope Jennifer makes a mistake, and then try to push her something in the deadlift?
Absolutely.
But it's a choice, so you got two lifters that are both good in the deadlift. One's a good squatter, one's a really good bencher.
Let's not count out Jasmine Penn here, taking 162.5, 358.
Again, these numbers are just incredible.
It's an identical squat.
Wow.
Blasted it up. Was it deep enough?
No,
Not
deep enough. Yeah, I agree.
3 reds on the bar in the squat as we take second attempts to Jennifer Milliken.
177.5. Yeah, it's only 2.5 kilos off her best ever. So let's see how this moves.
Wow.
This is going to tell us a lot right here about Jennifer's day. Wow, she just looks like she's in control coming out. This may be the best Jennifer we've ever seen. And we're talking about a 2-time world champion.
I think more than anything, she's healthy. And a healthy Jennifer is scary.
Yes. Very much so.
Oh, yeah.
And that tells us right there what's going on. It's game on now.
That's 2.5 kilos below an all-time best.
Yep. And looked like an opener. I don't think it looks like a last warm-up, probably, quite honestly.
So let's look ahead to the third attempts here. The national record is currently at 182.5.
Correct.
That's only 5 kilos above what we just saw.
Right.
I guarantee we're going to see a shot at that.
Oh, no doubt. Abby Citron's up now. Yeah, this is shaping up already at second attempt squats. You're already starting to see how the deadlifts are going to play out, right?
Yeah.
And again, I think in both of these classes, somebody's going to be pulling for the win.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to be most interested. What does Jennifer Thompson's third look like?
Yep. And what do they do? How have they gone up? Where is...
Abby Citron not deep enough on that third attempt, Okay, here's Jennifer. 150s on the bar.
All right.
They're a little off her best. Just want to see this made. I'm sure she does too. Checking the bar, getting the crowd involved.
She's very good about that. She really maintains her composure, but still has the entertainment value there. And great athletes do that in every sport.
Yeah, I think she draws energy from the crowd and draws energy from the spotters being on her side, too.
Oh, no doubt. Everyone in this place is pulling for her right now. Wow. That crowd is going crazy. They're a little shaking their head.
There it is.
I mean, let's see with the 3 white lights.
Wow,
and so
that looked different from her second attempt.
It really did. And that's why you don't always know, but it definitely looked tough. And it still looked a little awkward, but it's there. And that crowd, I don't know if you could hear it, but the roar when she comes about here, we got the replay up here now. When she comes about halfway up, that roar was amazing.
Yeah. We're in a noise-controlled room, and we heard it through the wall.
So right about there, they just started going crazy. They knew when it came out of that hole.
Brenna Patterson coming in. She's attempting a 2.5 kilo meet PR here, kind of chipping away. If you add these up over years, you are one heck of a lifter. Coached by Joey Flex out of Orange, California.
Good depth.
Stays with it. Nice fight, Brenna.
I think that's the biggest difference. If you were going to say between these, between the primetime lifters and the lifters that lift during the day, obviously there's better training and things. They do other stuff, but I think one of the differences is they trust themselves a lot more. They don't give up on lifts as easily.
Yeah, and I think it just takes some practice. Just have a few of those circumstances to practice and fail sometimes, succeed sometimes. So our New Jersey state record holder in junior and open coming to crush 160 kilos.
Wow.
Another fantastic fight. Slow bar, keep it moving.
This crowd.
Crowd's starting to fill up here. Not only in anticipation of what's happening later in the squat, also in anticipation of the 83s coming later. I know some of you guys listening are tuning in for 83s as well.
I mean, you will see what I will say is about the 83s, you will see the world record in the deadlift exceeded.
Yes.
You will see it. That I will guarantee.
Jennifer Combs looking confident, 160 kilos. I don't know if that was deep enough. That was a heck of a grind.
Yeah, she's not real happy with it. There you go.
Yeah.
For depth. There's all three, too. And if you notice out there, every year we kind of improve our little telecast. If you look at all the information we have up on the screen, there's a lot more ordered. Everything's a little bit better.
Yeah, we're getting fancy over here.
Trey Cunningham has done a great job putting these broadcasts together, and we're just going to keep getting better and better.
Stephanie Scoville also going for that 2.5 kilo meet PR. She took 157.5 before. She's going 160, 352 pounds. The standard of the 63 class is just getting raised year after year.
Where's Stephanie from?
Stephanie's from Torrington, Connecticut. Let's go. Man, just some great calls, and that's another difference between primetime sessions and earlier sessions. These lifters, both through themselves and their coaches, are just capable of putting the right weight on third attempts. That limit lift that they can do, but isn't too much that they miss, and that's a wonderful thing to see. And
I'd rather err on the side of leaving a tiny bit on the platform than having tiny too much on the bar.
Yep.
You know, if that's going to be the choice, I'll lose that 2.5 kilos on that third attempt. I think is that the way you kind of coach that?
Yes. Yeah, it's a risk-reward analysis, you know, and in these fights for either new PRs or placings, you need kilos. You know, we have to build that total.
Yep.
Some downward movement. Spotters and loaders take the bar. 167 kilos, not good for Arthi. Still well above her best, though. I think she walked away with the best on her second attempt.
Yep.
Jasmine Penn coming out, our underdog. A little bit off her lifetime best, but again, it's about building the total here. She's taking 167.5 kilos, 369 pounds. Oh, wow. She has so much room left on that.
That's amazing. Wow. But again, you want to go, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And she wanted to go, do really well in that. All right, here we go.
Sam Calhoun
Samantha Calhoun's coming up.
170 kilos.
This kid is just amazing. And again, she took, 7.5 kilo jump and 7.5 kilo jump. So she's symmetrical, not that big on the jumps.
5 kilos above her all-time best in competition. Second looked fantastic. Matt and Susie Gary on the numbers. I'm sure they have confidence Sam's got this. Sam's an extremely technical lifter. She lifts with intent. I've seen her training. She's very focused. It's wonderful to see.
Wow. There you go.
Yep.
You can also see the confidence that all these lifters are generating, and they're demonstrating the confidence. And I think the crowd is kind of adding into that, the cheers and everything.
Absolutely.
And they're really trying to step up and show their best. Here's her again.
Look at that control.
Right about there with that shake.
Yeah, she knew it was going up. 185.5. Here's our first play. Jennifer Milliken going for an American record here. This is a world record, unofficial world record attempt as well.
Yeah.
Beating Maria T., who had 183.5. This will add 2 kilos to the world record unofficially if she makes this. Looking at her second, I think this is going to fly up.
I think she is. I think that second attempt really set for me like where she's going to be and the flavor of how this session is going to go.
Wow, look at that focus. Let's go, Jennifer.
Yep. More focus than I've ever seen her. That is ridiculous.
Wow.
And so she's exceeded the world record here, and it looked that easy. That is just amazing.
Oh, I got chills watching that.
There's Matt and Susie Gary. And Jennifer wants to give a shout-out to her kids, Leo and Taylor Ann, so they're sitting back home. And
hello to the
Tennessee
kids back home.
Up.
I'm sure they appreciate a new national record coming home with Jennifer.
Look at Mommy right there. Hey, kids, that's the highest squat in the history of the world. That's awesome. Mommy's awesome.
So as I said, we're going directly into 83s, starting off with Vernon Williams here as we launch into the A7 primetime session for men. 83 kilos, 183.8 pounds. Vernon Williams, bodybuilder who made a transition into powerlifting. You can see some of that muscle mass on him. Massive deadlifter, starting us off on the squats.
I mean, every one of these men in this flight is an absolute beast. And really, there's not a lot of weaknesses here.
Wow.
There you go.
So, speaking of athletic background, his first powerlifting competition, he deadlifted 716 pounds.
Yeah, and you just don't do that. You were never going to be like that. I was never going to be like that. I know you had to work hard to get to the elite level.
Yeah.
Took you moving up a weight class too, right? It's some people like that are just amazing. They're some of the greatest athletes ever. They went in and, guys benched 300 at 148 at 14 years old, first time in the gym. Here's Yang-Soo Ren.
Yang-Soo Yu Ren started off as a 74-kilo lifter. This is his first big competition as an 83-kilo lifter, moving up a weight class. Nice. Just like Jennifer Milliken, we're going to see if those extra kilos of body weight pay off on the total.
Yep. Already worked out for Jennifer pretty well.
Yeah, it certainly did.
I'd say exceeding the world record and a new American record is pretty good.
Those first two lifters we saw are going to deadlift huge later on.
Yep.
Taking the bar for Primar Namnama, opener 237 kilos, 523 pounds. You can see special Hawaiian Titan singlet. Technically perfect opener for Primar.
And as you were saying before, it's that attempt selection that makes the difference. That they're calling exactly what they can get. A first should look like a first, second should look like a second, a third should look like a third.
Absolutely. All right, Sean Collins, Boston Sean. He wants 600 as his third squat, so we're going to see if he can get there, starting off at 556, 252.5 kilos. I think this flight specifically is going to be a really interesting comparison of different squat styles.
Very much so.
We've got other Sean Noriega, who will be squatting with a very wide stance, a very low bar position. So it'll be interesting to see all the different ways people get the job done of standing up with a barbell. Sean makes quick work of that opener.
All right, Rob Ali's up now, 262.5.
Speaking of dark horses, Rob Ali here. We're going to see what he shapes up with the total. Had some fantastic training leading up into this, some ridiculous numbers. Just to put things in comparison, he squatted 15 pounds heavier than this for 5 reps. So I'm not sure if they're playing it ultra safe on an opener.
They're smart.
Yeah.
They're smart about him. And the funny thing is I've got a lot of connection to lifters, especially early in their careers for here. Rob Ali is one of the ones he came to Pennsylvania State meet, and I started pushing him, told him, you can be this good. Really, really? No, yes.
Yeah.
And then he just went out and started doing it. And sometimes it takes that little kick
Well, that opener looked like a last warm-up for Rod Ali. 578 pounds, 262.5 kilos.
Yeah, and he's got strength for days, and he is so much more solid. I said, look, concentrate on your technique. He was having trouble hitting depth in the squat.
Yeah.
And just told him, concentrate on your technique, cut your weights back a little bit. And so he got, just that little bits there. Here's Sean Noriega opening at 265 kilos.
All right, you can hear the crowd already. The big competition is Noriega and Orhi. These two guys are going to go back-to-back the entire competition. Here's that wide stance we're seeing. Sean is on point today. This is going to be a great competition.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a new Sean Noriega. I think that in 2017, that's right. In 2017, when he wound up losing to John Gruden Jr., I think that really hurt his feelings a little bit.
Oh, he came back with a vengeance, didn't he?
Unbelievable. He went off social media, went dark, just went away from everything, and that's it. And he just went into training. No training videos, nothing.
Jamar Royster looking to throw up some huge numbers. I talked to Jamar backstage. A lot of focus just on himself, pushing progress. He wants to see a 640 to 650 squat. Seeing as how he's starting off with a smooth 590, I think that's going to be no problem for him as he gets 3 whites on his opener.
All right, here's our man.
Marcus Adudu, opening squat, 270 kilos, 595.
He's being a little bit conservative here. I think he wants to get something in under 600, and then I think if it moves pretty quickly, we'll see a fairly large jump from him. I think.
Yep.
He needs to make up some distance on a lot of people, and he can make it up in the squat, and he needs kind of that cushion to go in.
Yeah, he's a big contender for the total too.
Yep.
And a win here at this national championship means you're qualified to go to the World Championships next year in Sweden. So a lot of these guys are looking for a gold medal finish to qualify them for that competition.
Wow.
So strong, so much power. Is it low enough?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
One red, and that was a close lift. It was either going to be a 2-to-1 good or 2-to-1 bad.
Yeah. Okay, here comes Bomnorg Tech. He's only been competing since 2016, so speaking of new up-and-comers.
Yep.
Guy in the Primetime already. 600 pounds as an opener. This is only 10 kilos off his all-time best, which was 3 months ago, so my man's making progress.
Yep. And again, early on in your career, you can make those big jumps.
It's nice for that early on to career. Already put you on this stage.
Exactly. And we're seeing a lot of that for...
He comes to us from Silver Spring, Maryland. Quite a journey to get out here to the West Coast. We're in Spokane, Washington. Russell Orhi. Big name. Won last year. Went to World Championships. Wants to do it again. His only goal, his main goal, is win above everything. And the whole game plan is going to be focused around that.
Yeah. He definitely does. His thing is ask him, what do you need to do to win this? And put in the work, is what he said to me.
Yeah.
Put in the work. And now he and Sean Noriega are very good friends. So this is an interesting thing, and they're both coached by Joey Franzo.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. They're friends. They're coached by the same person, but they said it really works well. They drive each other hard. And that's where the true friendship comes out.
Yeah. I hear all that. At the same time, you're here. Only one of you can win. What happens?
Yep. Wow.
Can't expect an opener to be any faster than that.
No. And you're seeing such control on the platform. And again, the difference is not just the weights, all right, but just how clean everything looks.
Yep.
And the control that these athletes are able to demonstrate. They're in charge of that platform.
Absolutely. Yeah, it takes a lot of confidence. It takes experience coming out here, doing this a few times, being successful, You need a good team behind you. There's a lot of pieces that are intangible that kind of make the lifter that you see out there.
Yep.
Vernon Williams with his second attempt coming out, 237.5 kilos, 523 on the bar.
I mean, there's only one person out there lifting this on the platform, but there may be 10 or 20 people back home, from family to coaches, trainers, whoever else, that are back there making them making everything work.
Little head roll for Vernon there.
There we go.
Yeah, he's got it.
That's awesome right there. We haven't seen too many red lights.
No, we haven't.
Forget
some technically great squatting.
Forget missed lifts. We really haven't seen any lights. Here's Yang Su Ren, known as the Deadlift Panda.
Deadlift Panda, which he will make himself known later today.
Oh, yeah, he will. Panda will come out to play, baby.
540, 245 kilos on the bar. Seen this multiple times in training from him. This should be no problem for this recent come up from the 74 kilo class. Yu was invited to the Grand Prix Deadlift Invitational at the Arnold earlier this year. Got to share the platform with him as I was handling a few lifters.
Now, it's interesting. That was 2-1 for him, and it's funny, the side that they called that on was high. The other side was in. So everybody was correct. From the front, it was a white.
Yeah.
From the right side, it was a right. From the left side, not so much.
And you call what you see.
Yeah, you call what you say. So Primar Namnam is up, 252.5 kilos.
From Hawaii, his opener was lightning fast.
We have a big group of Hawaiians here. They had the horn out earlier they were blowing. They got the drums and...
Wow.
They train and travel as a group, the Hawaiians.
That's just a beautiful squat. Primo, my hat is off to you, man.
Comes Sean Collins.
Boston Sean taking 5 kilos below his lifetime best. 260 on the bar, 573. Beautiful second attempt.
These lifters are letting their lifting do the talking today. It's one of the cleanest sessions I've seen maybe ever.
Yeah.
For an elite session. We'll see how the rest of it goes, but squat calls are amazing. Now here's Rob Ali.
So if 3 reds is the new standard for the 63 class, 5 reds is the new standard for the 83 class. That's 606 pounds. Rob Ali taking out his second squat. One of our dark horses who's got a qualifying total pretty similar to a lot of these guys, and we know everyone has made progress from the numbers they've put in here as he demonstrates blasting up that second attempt.
Where is she going to go from there now? So where do you think? You went up 12.5 kilos. You think 10?
I think 10, yeah.
All right. Here's Noriega. Went up 15 kilos.
Sean is looking to build that total. Want made lifts. I know his coach wants made lifts. Crowd wants made lifts. Confidence is on another level with Sean Noriega.
He's got a lot of courage, got a lot of fortitude, but he's very smart about what he does. Wow.
A little bit of a dip.
Let's see what happened here.
Yeah.
And that's that same. That hip on that side was up, I think.
Yeah, I think you can say that. Certainly no problem with bar speed. Strength
Not at all.
is absolutely there. And I'll be interested to see what they put in for a third attempt, too, looking to max out his potential on the squat. As Jamar Royster takes the next bar to 282.5 kilos, 622 pounds. This will set him up pretty well for what he wanted today on the squat.
Right. I mean, Sean's bench has gotten tremendously better.
Yeah, and I think a big reason of that is how good he's gotten at technique.
Right. Because strength only gets you so far, and then you really, the way you make that elite jump is with technique.
Yep.
I can't stress that enough. That's the difference between these athletes and the morning athletes, is technique more as much as anything.
Yeah. Fantastic squat for Jamar Royster.
Now, Sean, let's kind of look for the bench. Sean's opening at 187.5.
Yeah.
So that's darn close. 195 is his best.
Oh, and he's been doing much better than that in training, hitting 200.
I know.
And, yeah.
I know. It's been going really well.
All right. This was our opener. That was almost too fast to be an opener. We'll see Bongnorg take 282.5 kilos, 622 pounds on the bar. Team Joey Flex representing deep in this flight.
All right. Noriega put in 10 kilos to 290, which will be a 5-kilo PB. So it's almost like they bracketed his PB, one on one side and one on the other.
Yeah.
And
that's 10 kilos below the national record, so Sean's in good shape to have a great total today.
Right. So he doesn't have to push this squat, even though he may be able to push more today.
Yeah.
He's got a good bench, and he's got a great deadlift, so it kind of leaves him in a good position. It's about being smart. It's not about going out and lifting as much weight as you can.
Yep.
It's about the strategy of putting together a total and putting pressure on the other athletes as we go along.
Okay. Marcus with strength for days, taking 285. Oh, something happened there. I hope he's okay. Weird. His descent looked perfectly fine. Looks like he just didn't have any drive coming out of the hole. I'll be interested to see. I hope they just retake that and that he gets it on his third, but that's weird.
It was very weird.
All right. Russell Orhe taking a national record attempt, an unofficial world record attempt, actually. Russell had an unofficial world record. He's coming out to make it unofficial but higher this time, setting a new national record here. And this chip advantage might come in advantage later on because you have to beat this to beat the total.
Correct. So you can't just tie and win on body weight. You gotta actually exceed it by 2.5 kilos. It can really mess with you a lot.
This is his second attempt. Remember, he's got so much room on a third if he makes this.
I don't know. That was quick, but we got to see how it looks. 3 white lights.
Woo! I don't know, man. The view from over here, but the
see.
refs have the better view than we do.
Yes, and they've been throwing lights today. So
absolutely.
We're going to get a replay here. And it's also hard to tell with the black suit on, too.
That bar speed, though, is so fast.
You know what? On work looking at that, I give it to it.
Yeah.
And I see what they saw.
Is it the black suit then?
Well, I looked to the edge of the black, and I saw where the hip, he did get below.
Yeah.
He did. It's hard to see where the crease is on the all black. All right, Vernon Williams is up now for thirds. These thirds are going to be really interesting.
We just saw a world record attempt, second attempt. I have no idea what's coming.
Well, and again, as we saw with the 63-kilo women, those squats are setting them up, and we can see where stuff's going, like how Jen's kind of set up, how both Jens are kind of set up. All right, Vernon's up here now, 247.5, 554 pounds.
So looking ahead at third attempts, Russell Orhe jumped to 308, which will raise the unofficial world record 7 kilos. I think that was a smart jump.
But you notice what he did. He didn't go to 307.5 or 310. He went to 308 to preserve those, as you said, the fractional plates, because now John is good enough that he might be able to do something in one of the other lifts, but if he can't do that, Russell's already got those fractional plates, so Sean's got to go 2.5 above him.
Yeah.
He can't tie him, and one of the reasons that Russell did it is because he's the heavier lifter.
So now that's no longer an option.
Correct. So Sean there's no way to time him, even if he can, he's going to chip it out. The chance that he's going to come up with the same number doesn't.
Yeah, you have to win outright.
It's very low. Pretty much have to win outright, and he might have to go an extra 2 kilos up to do it.
Let's give Yang Su credit for taking a breezy 247.5 kilos, 545 as his third attempt. Looked like he had some more in the tank, but again, we're going to see a huge deadlift from him later.
Well, if you look, he only took 2.5 kilos. right? So we said maybe that you do that if you're trying to save some for the deadlift, for the bench and the deadlift.
Yeah.
Because he definitely had more in the tank.
Yes.
And 2.5 kilos for a male lifter in the 83 kilo class, it never happens.
Right.
Most of the time, I would tell people, pass on that, right? Don't, if that's all you got, don't even take it.
Yeah.
But there's a reason they want that extra 2.5 kilos, and it's probably because it's going to come down to the end to try and get on the medal stand.
Absolutely.
Wow.
There's our textbook squatter putting up another textbook squat on his third, 260, 573.
And I don't know if you can hear it on the live stream, but the Hawaiians, the Mana Gym crew are blowing their horn.
I hear that. We're throwing it up. Crowd's starting to fill in there in Spokane and Washington. See some world record holders there. Daniela Mello in the front row.
Yep.
Throwing it to Sean Collins now as he takes 270 kilos, 595. This is 5 kilos above his all-time best set at Nationals last year. He's obviously made progress. That was fantastic.
Unbelievable. And I'd love, this kid could win this class someday. I think he's got a lot of room to grow, and I don't think he understands it right now. He doesn't know how good he can be. Some of the others on here, Russell, and he kind of knows where he is. Sean Noriega kind of feels himself. Marcus feels himself.
Yeah.
I don't think Sean feels himself yet, and that could make a difference. All right, and here's Rob Ali up. And he's one, when we see him next year, we will see him next year, you'll see a very different athlete.
Mm-hmm. This is just above his meet best. I don't think there will be much issue here. Fantastic. If you guys want to follow along the scoreboard, go to liftingcast.com. Liftingcast.com. You can see the same screen we're looking at when it comes to what the lifters are attempting. All right, we're right back with Jamar Royster here, taking 287.5 kilos, 633. This is basically right below what he wanted today. And again, it's about building the total. Had a fantastic second attempt. Let's see Jamar take this for a third. Wow. Let's go, Jamar.
He just stuck with that, stayed under the bar, kept pushing.
Yeah. That was definitely a technical error coming out of the hole.
Yep, corrected.
But, man, he was able to fight with it and stay with it.
I always get worried when I see people try to flip their hips back under. And I know people that do that as their standard squat, and it's just a prescription for a problem.
All right, Sean needs this lift. Russell had 2 great squats so far, a national record, unofficial world record second attempt. In order to stay in the mix for the total, we need Sean to make this. Sean wants to say happy belated birthday to Pops back home.
And again, this is 5 kilos over his personal best. There we go.
Crowd's in it. Sean's in it. We're off to the races now.
And Marcus has passed on his third, so he's gonna go home with 285, and he's gonna try to, push that bench and get his deadlift up a little bit, I think.
So Sean was the lifter we saw who had a perfect walkout, perfect descent, and then just stopped in the hole. So I'm guessing some small injury, something going on there.
Very possible.
Bom Norg, 290 kilos, huge squat at 639 pounds.
Yeah, Marcus didn't come off beat up, but there definitely was something wrong with that squat itself. Where's Bongo from?
He's from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Oh, that's right, Silver Spring.
Yeah, his limit is way higher too, and that was 7.5 kilo meet PR for him. Plenty more in the tank there.
Sean Noriega, I think is living. I know he's working in D.C. and I think he's living out towards Silver Springs, living in that I think general area.
Yeah. All right, so our national record that just got set 10 minutes ago is about to get reset from Russell Orhe here as he takes 308, 679 pounds. As an 83-kilo lifter, this is unbelievable. Oh, he's feeling it. Let's go, Russell.
And here's the thing, too. He really needs this. If not, Sean Noriega is only 11 kilos behind him.
And that's going to shape up in the total.
Right. So instead of 11 now, he's going to go 18 kilos. It's a big difference, and it's a weird number, too, to use. He's already got those fractional plates to include in his total to make Sean have to lift more than him.
Not there.
Wow. And that could cause a seismic shift right there.
It could.
Between the two of them.
Yeah, it definitely could. That was really close. I don't know if 1 kilo below would have been enough to make it, but that was really close. Was it a technical error? Was it too heavy? We don't know.
No, I'm not going to sit here and argue that call.
Yeah.
Because the 301 moved so well.
It absolutely did. Yeah, that's just by that sticking point. He looked uneven, by the way. Left knee looked a little bit further out than his his right knee looked a little further out than his left. All right. Switching as we adjust the apparatus and take a 5-minute break to bench press, starting off with Abby Citrin in a minute. Plenty of action shaping up on squats for both.
Unbelievable.
As subtotals shape up. We saw a national record get set in both weight classes. And now we get to see some action on the bench press as Jennifer Thompson warms up for the bar.
It's going to be really exciting because I think where both of these classes are going to wind up being settled is in the bench.
Yes.
And whoever makes the most benches, forget the weight, whoever makes the most attempts is probably going to win the 63 women and is probably going to win the 83 men. Even though both great deadlifters in both divisions, It's the bench here. So let's try to watch that and see whoever makes the most attempts is going to win. That's the prediction. Let's see how we go.
All right. It's coming.
Thanks, Bryce.
They say competing in powerlifting and running your own business is crazy. Yeah, I still do it though.
as we come to you from Spokane, Washington for the A7 Primetime session on Friday here for USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals 2018.
Yep, to 2018, we're here in beautiful Spokane, Washington. The meet's being run by Aaron and Ivan Ribic, Dana Snow. They've just done an absolutely amazing job. And you know what? The lifting's just gotten better as the whole week. The battle that we're seeing right here with the 63-kilo women and the 83-kilo men is crazy. We've seen world records exceeded in the squat in both categories already. And we're going to at least see the world record deadlift exceeded in the 83 kilos.
Yeah.
So it's shaping up to be a great competition here.
I think headed into the bench press, the main thing we have to talk about is Jennifer Thompson coming off of an amazing bench nationals performance, which wasn't too long ago, and she's coming in here feeling hot on bench press. She did awesome and looking to probably chip that.
Yeah, and what she told me is she wants to set the single lift, which is higher in a bench-only meet. She wants to set the single lift American record today.
Okay. And it's basically going to be Jennifer Thompson separated by a mile from a lot of the other lifters.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 kilos or so, as these other lifters are battling for medal position in the bench press.
Right.
But again, it's about building that total. You know, I think a lot of people discount the bench press and its ability to add to the total.
Yes.
A lot of people view it as a break between squatting and deadlifting, but it really can be an anchor lift for a lot of people, Jennifer Thompson included.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're only adding 5 or 7.5 kilos in the bench press to your total, it can be a big 5 or 7.5.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I would almost rather see people start out light and hit something and then hit something and come away 3 for 3 rather than opening what they finish with on a third and not making a second and third.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
outside of Jennifer Thompson, looking ahead at the 63 class, everyone's right around 105 kilos. We've got Jasmine Penn, 102, Milliken, 105, Calhoun, 105. All these lifters have made progress, so I'm guessing we'll see some pretty big bench presses.
Yeah, I think Jennifer told me that her bench is moving. That obviously moving up from 57 to 63, you're going to see your bench jump up. It's one of those things. You see the squat jump up, maybe you see the deadlift go down. Jennifer's deadlift, squat went up. She said her bench went up significantly, and her deadlift stayed exactly where it is and maybe even got a little bit better. So this 63 class is going to be really good for her.
Yeah.
Kind of like you moving up to 105, right?
Well, hey, it makes things easier.
You know, some people are just, another face in the crowd, pretty face, and move up a weight class and become a superstar. So
make it happen.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see a few lifters follow suit. We've got Yu Ren in the 83s, bumping up a class to 83s.
Right.
Yeah, we've got Milliken moving up from 57s. So what do you do when you take a world champion already at 57, give her a few extra kilos to grow, give her some healthy training? As we've seen already, she's on fire. So,
right, and the biggest thing for her is not so much that she moved up a class as much as she just didn't cut weight. So she's now training at the same weight where she's competing.
Yeah.
Where a lot of these other athletes cut weight to come in, so they lose a little bit of strength. She can be at exactly the same strength level because she's not cutting weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking at how the totals are shaping up, I kind of have no information yet because there's no kind of big upsets for this class.
No.
Thompson did well. Calhoun did well. Milliken did well. We just kind of see how subtotals shape up before we start predicting numbers.
First attempt benches, it's kind of going to be where we're looking as our meter for how we're going to finish up.
Yeah.
It's going to be big. And if somebody slips up and somehow misses an opener, it could be the death knell for their chance to win this championship.
It's very true. Give it out to a few of our sponsors real quick. We've got Titan Support Systems. We have Renaissance Periodization. Big sponsors help make this meet possible. We can't thank them enough for their help.
They've been great. And tonight, we've got the A7 Primetime on, and you're wearing an A7 shirt. Guys, if you haven't worn the A7 squatting shirt, it is great and amazing. That bar will never come off your back in training.
Yeah, it feels like you're constantly wearing chalk. So we got just a minute or two as they change over the apparatus and get ready for bench press. Lifters have finished warming up. The men are downstairs warming up for bench press. So we've got alternating sessions here. Men are warming up. And having been in this A-B flight situation, you don't have much time down there. Those lifters finish squats. They go down there. They drink some water. They get right to warming up for bench press.
Yeah, it's because you've only got a half an hour to warm up total. And that half an hour takes you downstairs, warm up, do what you got to do, bathroom break, get something to eat, and then come back up the stairs all in half an hour.
Yeah, 5 or 6 warm-ups, and you're back on the platform ready for bench press.
Because we move fast.
And that changeover for deadlift is even quicker because most athletes have more than 5 warm-ups. So.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, so let's go out here now. We're getting ready to start. Move on back to the platforms. Our first bench is going to be Solana Kelly. When he goes to that, I thought.
They say competing in powerlifting and running your own business is crazy. Yeah. I still do it though.
All right. Spotters and loaders are ready. Gino, Biancheri, the pirate announcer, is ready too.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Our resident pirate for USA Powerlifting. And one of the best announcers I have ever heard in my life.
He just came back from Mongolia. He flew from Mongolia to here.
Gino flies and travels more than any human I know. I think every weekend and even most weekdays he's traveling somewhere new. He is highly requested.
Here is Gino.
My man Gino.
And he does this truly for the love of the sport. Other than getting some of his expenses taken care of, it's not like he makes a lot of money doing this.
Yeah, he is one of the deepest powerlifting fans I know of.
And he is a true fan in a way that almost nobody else is. That's the reason he's here.
Yeah.
It's his chance to be among the people that he really idolizes.
A7 adorning the spotters and loaders. Never stop the progress. As we take it to our first opening attempt. Referees in their chairs. Solana Lewis taking our first bar. Coming from Clifton, New Jersey. Now, as you're lifting Elliot, do you take a handoff or do you opt to self-lift off?
I take a handoff. I mean, I started in the sport taking handoffs back in the early dark ages of the early 1980s, and so that's just the way I've always done.
Yeah.
A lot of times in training, though, especially in the lighter weights, I'll do it myself. But if I'm anything over 75%, I'm taking a handoff.
Mm-hmm. And I think at a national championship, these guys are trained, giving good handoffs for this, predictable. Speaking of giving back to the sport, Avi Silverberg there from the Canadian Powerlifting Union, CPU. Spotting and loading.
He came down here of his own accord and just actually ran the Canadian National Championships in Calgary, Alberta. So then he's come right down here. He just finished up a couple of weeks ago, I believe, with that.
Okay, it looks like Abby Citron's taking our opener before Solana.
There's Bill McCarthy.
Maybe a little bit of confusion here.
There might have been a change put into the table because up to 3 minutes before the start of your flight, you're allowed to make a change, and somebody might have put in a change. It went on the computer. Somebody didn't notice it.
Yeah, that's right. Some of the reasons for those changes could be something feels a little lighter than expected, heavier than expected. As long as you submit it 3 minutes before the flight starts, you get that change.
And sometimes you just submit it just to see what somebody else does.
Yeah.
Little reaction.
Play that bluff game.
Solana Lewis is up here now, 72.5 kilos. And so during the day, we run 4 platforms. For this, we try to run only 1, max 2.
Mm-hmm.
So what they've done is these are all the best spotters and loaders from all 4 platforms. This is a combined crew. They took the best of the best to be here on this prime time.
Off stage, they have to fight each other, and only the strongest survive.
Yeah, no kidding. And they do, trust me, they do want to fight to be in here. It's a source of pride.
Solana taking an easy opener there, 72.5 kilos.
As someone who made his bones in this organization, spotting and loading all the time, I can tell you the competition, even from side to side of a loading crew, you try to get the loads done faster.
Yeah.
And we had a thing at Worlds one year where we tighten the collar and then throw our hands up, and whoever's hands were up first would win.
Yeah.
And fought constantly.
It keeps it fun throughout the day.
Constantly,
These guys go through, long days, 8 to 12 hours of spotting and loading, minimal breaks. My hat is off to them.
It's unbelievable. And it is a totally thankless job. And I do think that the athletes here understand that. The majority of them do. Certainly these elite athletes
here. We're getting a check. Abby has plenty of time. Looks like there was some confusion about the bar load or rack height. But she's good to go for this. 75 kilos on the bar. Settling in before she gets that start signal. Okay, for you guys who are new to powerlifting, on the bench press, we have 3 commands. The lifter has to be motionless with their arms locked out. They get a start command. Bring the bar down, motionless to their chest. They get a press command. And they've got to press the bar up. And I know a lot of you guys in the gym just rack the bar. You got to stand there at the top, demonstrating that you've pressed the bar before you get that rack signal.
Correct. If you press this up and just put it right into the rack, it's going to be a yellow card. You're done.
Yep.
All right, it's no lift. All right, Jennifer Coombs is up here now, 80 kilos.
Here's our Washington lifter, new to USA Powerlifting. Easy opener.
Very much so.
Now another constraint on the bench press, we need to make sure that the maximum width has index fingers on that ring. I don't know if you guys can see it on the stream there, or if you've seen it in your bars in your gym. It's a certain width, and a lot of people want to maximize. So they're going to go as wide as absolutely possible. It reduces the range of motion of the barbell. As Arthi Neethi explains how she wants her liftoff, taking 82.5 kilos.
And you can see, if you look on there, you can see where her hands are now. People can see the rings pretty easily. We've got the magnesium on the bar, and it's pretty easy to see. That's 81 centimeters, and that's the widest that you can be.
All right, confident opener for Arthi.
Very easy. You know, don't leave lifts in the hands of the referees. That's what I tell people.
Yes.
You know, first of all, nothing is ever the referee's fault. There's 3 of them all making the one call. So if you're constantly getting a call for depth, or you're constantly getting a call that your head's up or your butt's up in the bench, or you're not locking out a deadlift, guys, they're just coaching you and telling you this is what you need to do. They're helping you out. Look at it that way.
Yeah.
All right, Stephanie Scoville's up now, 85 kilos.
Our openers for these 63-kilo lifters are getting darn near 200 pounds. Tremendous strength for these primetime lifters in the A7 session. Good control down to the chest. Great pause. That's a high touch point.
There you go.
If you guys are noticing, you can see she's touching a little bit closer to the first ab sternum area than on the chest. Again, another way to reduce the range of motion along with that bench arch you just saw.
All right, Brendan Patterson's up now, 92.5 kilos. So what we're seeing for second attempts here is everybody is putting in a 5 kilo, has put in a 5 kilo jump right now.
Yeah.
So they're all trying to match each other in the bench. Again, I was talking about whoever makes the most attempts here. It's not necessarily the biggest push, but the most number of attempts. And I think we're seeing that. So they're matching each other already.
That's an easy press for Brenna Patterson. 92.5 kilos on the bar.
All right.
I was just looking behind us and seeing a crowd form here as people are watching the screen we're looking at.
That's awesome.
Also, in the lobby, there's another screen. So not only is the main arena filling up, but people are watching this all around the venue.
All right, Samantha Calhoun's up now, 97.5 kilos.
Samantha Calhoun, don't be weak. That is great advice, as I'm sure she takes it here up to her opener, 97.5 kilos.
Yep.
SBD sponsored athlete. Another sponsor of this competition.
We actually were down with her, and
that's a great press.
they actually filmed one of her workouts. SBD filmed it, and they one of her last workouts said it was just amazing.
Wow.
So, and the same thing with Jennifer Milliken, that they saw. You know, they went down to take a look at her training, and she just smoked everything. So it's good to see, and it's coming out here on the platform.
Yeah. I saw a promotional video.
Oh, you saw the promotional video?
Yeah, those are really cool. Yeah, if you guys don't following along at home, go to sbd.usa, and you can see an awesome promo video of Jennifer Milliken on Instagram.
They're a major supporter of the sport of powerlifting. They really are.
Jasmine Penn opening up with a huge 97.5 kilos, 215 pounds.
They're holding her for some reason.
Wow.
I don't know if her hips up, her feet are up.
Okay. So she's not technically set up. I don't know if her heels were down. As Elliot mentioned, she's still got time to get that start
10
command.
seconds. 6 seconds. It's down. She's knocking.
Okay. Still got it. She got that start signal with 0 seconds left on the clock, and I'm guessing that was heels.
I assume. I would love to figure out what it is. I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
We're not obviously going to be able to see the butt from here.
Yeah.
But the chief referee also should not have held her like that. If it's more than a 3 count.
Oh, here's Milliken in the zone.
around.
This camera angle. Let's go, Jennifer.
100 kilos right here.
Shout out to Trey Cunningham for that camera angle.
So again, saying her bench is going well. This is only within 5 kilos of her personal best.
Yeah.
Just amazing. And again, shout out to the kids, Leo and Taylor Ann. Here comes mommy right at you. Oh my gosh. That is only within 5 kilos of her PB, and it moves like that.
So when Jennifer told me that she made some bench progress and made the most bench progress, I was not expecting her opener to move that fast.
No, not at all.
And being 5 kilos below her all-time best, this is going to be some good benching.
Not at all. And she undersells stuff too. And I said, your bench. So you went up. Your bench was moving pretty good. She goes, well, it's okay. like.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to oversell herself. But let's bring the attention to Jennifer Thompson here, taking her opener at 125 kilos. This is a pretty standard opener for her, as she takes 275.5 pounds.
And she does not miss bench presses. Watch her technique, folks.
Known for the bench. She has more bench records than I can count.
Look at that technique right there.
Wonderful.
Absolutely perfect.
School teacher out of Denver, North Carolina.
Yeah, and she said it's really hard. It's getting hard because her kids are now at that age when they're doing baseball tournaments, travel tournaments every weekend.
Yeah.
So it kind of cuts into the training, but kids are more important, even though she's still making full dedication to the sport. Right now, Solana Lewis is up 77.5 kilos.
Reset the bar for Solana, taking her second attempt. 170 pounds. 77.5 kilos. Yeah, we'll see that crowd fill in as we get towards these third bench attempts, as everyone wants to see Jennifer take a new American world record.
Wow.
Unofficial world record.
Yep.
Nice work from Solana there. Not sure I would go up more than 2.5 kilos.
Now, Jennifer Milliken put in a 7.5 kilo jump to 107.5. She hits that. That puts some major distance there for her.
And that's a good number looking at her opener.
Oh, yeah, that's a really great number.
All right, Abby Citron, 80 kilos on the bar. Shout out to Abby's friends and families from Chicago, Illinois.
Right, so everything else being equal with everybody else putting in 5 kilos, if she makes 7.5 in jumps, even if everybody else still makes their attempts, she picks up 2.5 kilos on that attempt, no matter what happens. And so that's where she's going to build the total, and it comes in making those 3 attempts is the most important.
That's a technically great press from Abby. She presses back a little bit towards her face and finishes over her shoulders, allowing for a better bar path that looks a little bit like a J from the side. Jennifer Combs taking 85 kilos, 187 pounds. Quick stop, quick press. Easy work for Jennifer
There you
Combs.
go.
It's a fast press command. Whoever's in that head chair, I like your press commands.
And now I think it's Greg Simmons. I'm not 100% positive, but it kind of looks like him. And following the pattern from first attempts to second attempts, where everybody took a 5 kilo jump. Now it seems that there's a trend they're putting in 2.5 kilo jumps, which is common to have smallers. And again, I think they're trying to match each other in the bench press.
Arthi Nethi taking 87.5 kilos. This is 5 kilos up from her opener. Nice press. A little more confident she could take 5 and a third, but again, want to build that total and make lifts.
And again, she may just decide to match everybody else and just go 2.5 kilos. But now Jennifer Coombs kind of breaks that and went 7.5 kilos. She put in a big jump.
Yeah, we're going to see if she's successful there.
She took a 5 kilo jump to 85 and then a 7.5 kilo jump to 92.5. You know, you and I value making attempts. You know, talk about risk reward there. That the risk reward for that is low.
Yes. Yeah, it absolutely
I'm sorry.
is.
Right. The reward portion is very low.
Yes.
The risk is high.
All right. Stephanie Scoville, 87.5 kilos. This is our second lifter at this number. And a big jump after this up to Brenna Patterson. Wow, fantastic fight.
Not clean, but let's see what the referees say. All right, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You know, that because I saw a little tiny bit of bobble, and that's what the blue card was from the right, the stage right, the referee over there.
So if you're Stephanie or Stephanie's coach, do you even put in a third attempt, or do you think, okay, this is her limit for the day?
I think I go that 2.5.
Yeah.
And try to go. I think it's her limit, but I think she can get it. And again, physiologically, a missed bench press doesn't damage CNS the way a missed squat
far
does.
less consequential, absolutely.
Right. That's why you can open at a far heavier percentage in the bench than you can in the squat and take 3 almost near limit attempts, especially in equipped lifting.
Brenna Patterson fighting with 97.5 kilos. Gets through the sticking point with 214 pounds. She's got it.
So everybody's taking 2.5 kilos there, pretty much, except for Jennifer Coombs so far. So they're all setting up, and they're just going back and forth. They're doing some light sparring, right? They're not even they're not really in the ring going. But Jennifer Coombs is coming out. She's trying to throw a 7.5 kilo haymaker. We'll see if it works out, because if she makes it, it really works in her favor.
I mean, I'm wondering, looking at her missed squat second and third, if she just feels like she needs to make up some ground.
And that's possible. But again, chasing after that is.
Well, yeah, you can't lift numbers that you can't lift. So we're going to see if she can make it. Jasmine Penn, 100 kilos, magical number in the bench press, 220 pounds. Classic bench press arch, reduces that range of motion. She's got a heck of a lot more in her. She makes quick work of that second attempt.
Yeah. You know, it's almost like she's been dealt a bad hand in poker, right? And so she's trying to overplay that hand by going in big, by betting big, to try and hope it forces somebody else to do something. And I don't know if it's going to work.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Calhoun taking 2.5 kilos below her lifetime best, which she set at the Arnold earlier this year. Here's 102.5 kilos, 226 pounds. I've seen meets where her third attempts were all perfectly selected. I want to see if she can repeat that at this competition.
All right, so Jennifer Thompson has put in 143, which will exceed her existing world record.
Oh, that's exciting.
On second attempt. So like she was telling you, 2 things that you said. She told you the bench went great and that she takes big jumps, and both of them are happening here.
Absolutely.
All right, Jennifer Milliken's up now, 107.5.
Millie, who blasted up her opener. This is 2.5 kilos above her lifetime best at 57, so we expect that going up a class. But she was on fire for that opener. I think she's going to make this look so good.
You know, I'm so happy for somebody like Jennifer because she is just such a good person. And she works so hard and wants to be good and asks a ton of questions and takes advice.
Yeah, she really fights her own fight.
Oh, my.
Awesome.
Man.
You know, I think part of this is we don't know, maybe even the coaches don't know what Milliken's top end is in competition.
No.
She's been pain-free. I know she's struggled with pain in competition before, in training before. So, as we said before, a healthy Jennifer Milliken is dangerous.
But I think not having to cut weight is really the big thing. She's training at that weight. And I think as she was peaking, she was always getting injured when she started cutting weight because you're on the edge anyway, and now you're weakening your joints by taking some of the cushioning away.
All right, Jennifer Thompson's doing crazy stuff as Jennifer Thompson does.
It's going to exceed the world record.
On a second bench attempt. This is a massive jump up from her opener.
Yep. But like you said, you told us they like to take big jumps. And she likes to take big jumps in the bench.
This will beat her world record.
I mean, this is almost a 20-kilo jump, which is, it's 18-kilo jump. That is just absolutely crazy for a female bencher, or even a male bencher, much less a female bencher, yeah.
You don't see this jump on deadlifts in the 120s.
No, that's a big jump. And again, I don't care if it's equipped super heavyweight men, that's a big jump.
Let's go, Jennifer.
We don't have to do nearly as much work as we would because these two flights of lifters are making it for us.
Yeah,
they're doing our work for us.
We get an easy job here.
Yeah, there are times we really have to fight and work and come up with storylines, but everything's right here. Yeah. We've had tons of notes that we're not even having to dig into because this is just so amazing.
Yeah, Jennifer writes her own story on that one. Solana Lewis coming up for the third. Getting into that group lifters who took 2.5 kilo jumps, so they're looking to just edge out the most of what they can do on the bench press, just to fight for those extra 2.5 kilos. In a lot of these cases, we're looking for lifters trying to get a 2.5 kilo meet PR, lifetime PR, just push progress that little extra bit. 2.5 kilos being the minimum jump you could take in USA powerlifting.
Wow, that bobble. It was that bobble right off the... Now, what do you think that's caused by there, that bobble coming off?
It could be a lot of things. Sometimes athletes just try to push with the hips and then regain balance a little bit, or it could be trying to fight for stability as they get through that change in bar path, as they work their way over their shoulders.
So Brenda Patterson did put in his passing on her third.
Okay.
All right.
Abby chooses a self-lift off as she gets set for 82.5 kilos, 181 pounds. A great fight. Gets stuck about 3 inches off the chest, and she'll get credit for her second attempt there, which was only 2.5 kilos less at 80 kilos. Arthi Nehi again trying to eke out the last of bench press here. 2.5 kilos up to 90 kilos, 198 pounds.
And again, these women took 5 kilo first jumps, 2.5 kilo second jumps. Not a lot of, we'll see what happens here. We're starting to see some weakness come in.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet, though, we get to the bottom of this flight and the top lifters, we're not going to see that weakness. It's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, I think they had a little more room from their second attempts to their thirds.
Yep.
Not for Arthi. She's got room on her third as she makes great work of that 90 kilos.
That is really great. Stephanie Scoville's taking the same jumps. Well, she's opened a little bit higher, but went to 87.5 on a second and now 90.
She's 5 for 5 so far. She wants to finish this out.
And so there's pockets of competition in this too, right? We've got our top women that we're talking about, Jennifer Thompson, Samantha Calhoun, and Jennifer Milliken are really fighting for that top. But there's that middle space in there for 5, 6, 7, and 8 where people are really battling. And trust me, they'd rather be 5th than 6th.
Absolutely.
Right? You're not on the medal stamp, but it doesn't matter. You came in 5th.
Yeah. You still want to earn your placing, get your total as high as possible. Tough fight, but a little too heavy for Stephanie.
All right.
Want to remind our listeners as well that this whole day has been 83 and 63 kilos lifters lifting. So we want to go back and check to see if there were any contenders that might have finished up earlier in the day for totals that still could rank in the overall here. They've already lifted. They've already posted a total. Not in prime time, but they're still contenders. So just because you got selected for prime time doesn't mean there's someone that might come up from the open session and beat you.
Correct. I mean, in theory, you could have the person that wins this class have lifted this morning in the other session.
Absolutely. Jennifer Combs, 92.5 kilos. This was our 7.5 kilo jump. And I Oh, man, that was close. Jennifer Combs got that left side locked out. The right side just wouldn't cooperate. She's not happy about that. I'm sure she wanted that. I didn't think that was going to move as well as it did.
No, it moved. Well, the one side moved.
Yeah.
The other side didn't really move. She didn't push through. Jasmine Penn's up now at 102.5 kilos. And now we're seeing for the first time in this contest, really seeing some red on this board with the third attempt benches. And we were talking earlier about, whoever makes the most number of benches is going to be in the higher placing.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's going to be true for us at the top, and it's also going to be true for us in the rest of the flight itself. Jasmine Penn, 102.5 here.
So all the while, the 83-kilo lifters should just be finishing up their warm-ups and headed up, as we will jump directly into the 83s. Remember, Jasmine had the delay on her opener for this start signal. I think the same problem is happening here. I know she's going to go back in training and fix whatever it is the referees are telling her, but see if she can get the start command.
Yeah, I think her feet are up. I think that's what we had kind of figured from the first time.
Nice work to Jasmine on that third attempt.
Beautiful.
102.5 kilos, 226 pounds. She's happy.
She's definitely happy. And you know who else is happy? The spotters and loaders wearing those A7 T-shirts on the platform.
Absolutely.
For our A7 primetime tonight.
Yeah. All right. Here's the big girls. Sam Calhoun, 105 kilos. We know that spotters and loaders giving the lift off have to give it to 20-plus people. We remind them every time we come out on the platform exactly how we want it.
And I think Samantha's got a little surprise for people, I think, in the deadlift. So we'll see what happens. But right now, trying to go 3 for 3 here. All right.
Perfect number call. I don't think she had 2.5 kilos more.
No, I don't think she had 1 kilo more. If she could have called 106, I don't think she had that either.
Snipers, Matt and Susie Gary, calling numbers. Yep. Jen Milliken, 112.5 kilos.
Wow.
What was her second?
Where was she?
Okay, 5 kilo jump. Yeah. It's a good number. I think she's got it.
So if she makes this, she's picked up a lot of distance on the field.
Yeah, and considering chip advantages, we've got Jen Milliken with the chip advantage too. Although with Jennifer Thompson now at 143.
But she didn't put in the chip on her third. I don't. Donovan's a really smart coach. I just don't know why he didn't do that. I'll ask him at some other point and figure out why. What was the reason? I know there's going to be a really smart reason. Wow.
Milliken walks away with that third successful attempt. That was a great number, 5 kilo jump up for her.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And she, again, talking before, I was predicting a new Jennifer Milliken here, and a new Sean Noriega, I also said too, but a new Jennifer Milliken, and she looks better than I've ever seen her. When she came out for that first squat and just dominated that, she looked the best. But right now, Jennifer Thompson's up. She's going to, again, exceed her own world record at 145 kilos.
Yeah, this is just below her bench-only national record at 145.5 kilos. Huge bench press, just 2 kilos up here. Looking to extend that bench. She came to win. She came to bench press. She also came to set a 500-kilo PR total. Let's see if she can help that kilo total out with this third bench. Confident. Nope.
Wow.
Just not there.
Just didn't have it
and
there.
She knew as soon as she didn't have it.
And she let it go, which I like.
Yeah, that's a tough break. That was only 2 kilos up. We knew her second was tough. So we've got some interesting stuff shaping up as we head into our men. Vernon Williams taking our first bench press. Vernon, our bodybuilder, transitioned to powerlifter.
And it's funny, you can really see. I'd be interested.
Yeah, as we're back, we see Vernon Williams coming out, 147.5 kilos, 325. Yeah, this is well below his best. Just kind of looking to set an opener, work his way from here. 7.5 kilos off his best in competition. New to powerlifting, he's having fun with it. And, you know, a lot of times we talk about being a powerlifter and needing a break from powerlifting training. He's a bodybuilder and uses powerlifting as his break from bodybuilding training.
Right. It does beat your body up. Bodybuilders are far more beat up than old powerlifters. It's really funny. If you go to the Arnold and you see that, and you see some of the old school bodybuilders and see how, wow.
Interesting. I don't know if we've got the right angle. Yeah. I wonder if his elbow's feeling a little bit beat up. His right elbow wasn't even locked out at the start. So
that's going to be tough to come back from.
It
to
absolutely
have an
is.
opener like that and do that.
Yeah.
But I was talking about that his squat. He really looks like a bodybuilder squat, that he kind of muscles it.
Yeah.
It's more strength and technique. It's not ugly. It's not poor technique, but it's not amazing technique.
And that's the kind of thing that you get by experience.
Right.
By practice and kind of building the skill. And that's one of the things that powerlifting is a true sport. You know, it's not just who is the strongest. It's who's the technically best at squatting, benching, and deadlifting for your body.
And it proves your nerve and your metal. You know, oftentimes the strongest man on that platform does not win. And sometimes at international meets doesn't even place.
Rob Ali.
There's a good shot of his bench. His arch.
He's got a lot of room in him. That's 10 kilos off his best as he's building from first to second to third.
All right. Boston Sean Collins is up. Same 150 kilos, 330 pounds. And I'm waiting for this kid to explode one day when he finally, if he realizes how good he can be. He'll wake up one day and say, look in the mirror and just be like, I'm a stud, and just go to work. Will that happen? We don't know. But right now he's benching here at 2018 USA Powerlifting
Little dip off the
World
chest.
Nationals. Yep.
Easy
There you
3
go.
whites there. Shout out to a few of our sponsors, bodybuilding.com, Lifting Large, GNC, Renaissance Periodization, Yang Su, Yu Ren, coming out. 150 kilos on the bar. Shout out to his home crew in San Diego, California, where it is eternal summer.
And he's a joy to watch. He really is, and you'll see it in the deadlift when he'll put on a show.
Yeah, you just see him smile, super confident.
He enjoys it.
Yeah, I think if powerlifting was deadlift only, he wouldn't be mad.
No, not at all. But look at him set. Now watch him takes the bar and then sets his butt down. There we
Great
go.
press. He's got a lot of room left on that.
Easy. Now where does he go to from here? I mean, where do you put in for him? 7.5 right there?
Yeah, I'd say 7.5 off of that jump.
All right.
If the women were taking 5, I think at this load we can take 7.5. Marcus at doo-doo. Marcus had a rough start on squat, not what he was expecting. I'm glad to see him back for bench press. Finishing out the meet here. He missed his second, scratched his third, and is back for his opening bench, 160 kilos, 352 pounds.
Right, and this is only 10 kilos off of his best bench, so it'll be interesting to see how this thing goes for him.
Sometimes you have to treat each lift individually, you know? Squat is bad. You just have to forget it, leave it behind. This is a 9-lift meet. You just go on.
Yeah, you're done with it. You got to look forward, and you try to use your bench and your deadlift to make up a little bit, but you can only make up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's anything I learned from World Championships recently, it's that anything can happen, and you just have to take the lifts that you have on the day.
Yeah. Missed attempts are like missed sleep. They can never be made up.
It's very true. But they can be forgotten.
They should be anyway. Once
Jamar
you're done, they're done.
Royster.
It is Greg Simmons in the head chair, who's our NAPF coach. Great guy, great competitor himself. I think he's won Master Worlds before. He's a team coach for years, just a wonderful guy, and gives back to the sport, like as do all people that are here.
Jamar's going to be happy with anything over 400 at this competition. Looks like he can build there with 370 moving pretty smoothly, 167.5 kilos. He had back issues about 3 weeks ago, but he tells me he's feeling good and ready to pull something big later on. He's going for over 700 later.
There you go. You hear the horn?
I hear it.
If you can hear it there on at home in TV land, but there you go.
That's Team Hawaii.
Hawaiians are here. paddled their war canoe all the way from Hawaii, and they come with the horns, the drums. They bring food with them. It's awesome. They gave me these cookies that I think were some of the best sugar cookies I've ever had in my life. They won't even tell me the secret ingredient, but they are amazing.
Easy press for Primar. Horn goes off again. 170 kilos is good in the books. We'll see a big jump from him up to a second.
All right.
So only Vernon Williams so far not in the meet on bench press. He's repeating on his second attempt. We'll see him come back for that. But before that, Bom Norng here taking 172.5 kilos, 380 pounds. Shout out to one of our meet sponsors, SBD. A lot of these guys are wearing SBD singlets, wrist wraps, certainly knee sleeves as well. Big provider of those.
Yeah, and so, guys go out there and buy their stuff, or anybody that supports us, because they really do support us. They don't just give us advertising money. Yeah. There's moral support that's given to all these athletes and to the organization itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Ben Banks, the owner of SBD, was a lifter himself, has competed at world championships. Mm-hmm. And he's a referee. He's an international referee. It gives back to the sport, even though it's his livelihood. It's really what he loves.
Yeah, I think that's where all good companies start.
Most definitely.
Deep pause there for Bom Norng, but he got it. So a lot of people sometimes hover the bar right off the chest. Some people sink the bar in nice and deep before they get that press command. All that the head ref is looking for is that the bar is motionless. Okay. So 10-kilo jump now up to Russell Orhe, 182.5 kilos. This is our first press above 400 pounds. Russell is opening up here. And this is 7.5 kilos below his all-time best.
Which is probably what he will put in for his second if he smokes this.
I think you're spot on there,
I would think, and then try to add 5 kilos. And it's not even add 5 kilos on his personal best. It's add 5 kilos onto his total.
Yes.
He already knows kind of what he can do, so he's going to and he's not even letting it spin a little bit.
Yeah.
On third.
Yeah, I think both Russell and Sean aren't worried about how these lifts compare to their all-time best.
No.
They're solely focused on the win. These guys want to go to Sweden next year.
And they knew this coming in. And they know everybody else's history. The same way we've done all this research, they've done all the research about everybody else.
Yeah.
They try to get videos off Instagram, do whatever they can do. Oh, we see that somebody did a 200-kilo bench press. Well, what does it look like?
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. Doesn't look like it's going to pass, so we're not going to set our numbers coming in as if he's at 200's real.
It's actually funny you mentioned that. A lot of these lifters have been somewhat secretive about their top-end strength on social media.
Oh, yeah.
It's been hard to do some research with these guys not showing their lifts.
Yep. And that's becoming more of a trend. It's always, as far as I'm concerned, should have been a trend, but it's becoming a trend for people not to put their best lifts up.
There's at Kiss My Arch with his characteristic short bench press range of motion. 4 inches or so, as
Very
he has
easy.
that really high contact point. Makes
Very
quick work
easy.
of 187.
I mean, he's got some great control going today.
He does.
And
yeah.
forget the other guys aren't missing lifts either, but the important thing is his control. He was dominant from the opening squat, and the last time I really saw somebody come out that dominant, the way both he and Jennifer came out on their opening squats was Tony Cardella in Solden, Austria in 2007, came out for his opening attempt, and just the walkout, I was like, this is done. It's over. And he won his one and only
Give him whites
world
when he walks
title.
out.
Yeah. All right, Vernon Williams is up now, 147.5.
Okay, Vernon missed his opener at the same weight. I'm hoping it was something technical. Let's see what happens for Vernon.
But, I mean, he did get it up some, but it really wasn't that close. Yeah, I see it. He got that. All right, good.
I wonder if it's an elbow problem. If you demonstrate to the head ref, hey, look, my arm doesn't straighten past this point, you just start there. A lot of people have problems making sure their elbows are at full extension off the start.
Right.
As long as you demonstrate this is my start, that's where you can go.
Yeah, and one of my cues when I'm refereeing is if someone returns the bar and the arm's straighter than where they took the bar, I'm giving them a blue card because they're playing with their elbows.
Yes.
Right? But if you start and finish in exactly the same place, I'm going to see that as being full extension of the arm.
Rob Ali here. He's got 157.5 kilos, 347 pounds.
And Rob is one of those people who takes advice. We were talking about some of these people that do that. He takes the counsel of other people.
Great press there, Rob.
I mean, that looked like an opener for him right there.
Yeah, he's building today. Coach Jason Tremblay from the Strength Guys. So, yeah, for a lot of these guys, really the name of the game for the bench press is technique.
Right.
You know, we can have strength, but a lot of these guys have scapula underneath them. They're trying to raise that contact point as high as possible, touch at the highest point possible, widest grip possible, really just trying to maximize those advantages, and they really stack up to get to a big bench press.
It's funny, all right, we'll watch Boston Sean Collins here. Look, that's a great shot right there.
Interesting straight wrist there.
Yeah, very interesting. We're elite lifters. We were discussing about this. I brought up a question with Larry Maley when we were doing the coaches clinic on Wednesday about hand position. Where do you want to see the bar? Do you want to see it here, right over the forearm?
Sure.
Or do you want it back in the hand? And obviously a lot of the Japanese bench pressers, especially the bench-only people, they almost hold the bar like an Olympic lifter, and their hands cocked all the way back. It's not even over their arm, but they like to sit it over the deltoid better. So it's interesting how you see that.
All right, Yu Ren, 5 kilos below his all-time best here. His opener was fantastic. He's got 157.5 kilos, 347 pounds.
Wow.
Great press there.
You know, and everybody's taking those 7.5 kilo jumps here that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Noriega, he only put in 5. Interesting. We went 7.5. So he's holding himself back. He's playing here a little bit.
Well, I've seen Russell press 200 in training, so we're still a good bit off his best.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he'll finish close to 200 today.
No, not at all.
And again, you just take what's there on the day of the competition. Your training can be whatever. You take what's there today. All right, Marcus.
All right, Marcus is there.
165 kilos.
All right, Primar is going to be up now, 177.5 kilos.
The next 3 lifts will be at the same weight. Got a nice even stack there. 391 coming up for our Hawaiian.
And so everybody's matching in the upper. You know, we said there's 2 quadrants of competitors here, and they're kind of matching up. You know, the best of the benchers or the heaviest of the benchers are taking 5 kilo jumps right here and just battling each other. They're matching.
391 is the magic number for bench press. Nope. Not the magic number for pre-march, just a little on the heavy side.
Big miss right there. You know, and everybody else is taking 5 kilo jumps, and he took a 7.5. Is it gonna bite him there?
Yeah, and who knows what his best in the training was?
No, we don't know. We haven't seen it, and you can make great strides from your last meet to this meet. Jamar Royster took a 10 kilo jump, 22 pounds.
He must be feeling good there with that 10 kilo jump. He is getting close to his 400-pound goal. Jamar's playing his own game, looking for PBs.
I mean, the problem is a 2.5 kilo jump doesn't get him to that 400 right here. I mean, let's see what he does here and then see what he puts in for his third if he makes this. All right, so
would a 7 and a 5 have been better?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, the 10 kilo, sometimes you come in trying to get a number, all right, and that's your goal. And so you set your attempts based on that number.
Yeah.
Well, I have to do this, and I think I can open with this. I know I can open with this, and I'll make it up in my second. And again, you can't make up attempts, and we were saying that it's like sleep.
Yeah.
You got to hit what you can hit.
Bom Norg Tech, our squat technician, 177.5. Still 7.5 off his best. Looking to build a total today. 391. As he's the second lifter to take this weight. Third lifter, excuse me.
So these are far more conservative jumps than Primar attempted.
And so far, we've seen those risk rewards be more risk than reward.
Right, for people. Yeah, every time someone's taking a jump that's kind of out of line, they're missing that lift.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I mean, they're making their jump. The smaller jumps are working.
Okay, comes to building the total. We are looking at Russell Orhe's second bench press here, 187.5. One of our two big boys fighting it out for gold and silver. Headphones come off for Russell as he comes out for a 5 kilo jump up.
And I really can't criticize, within competition, somebody's hierarchy of needs as to what's most important for them. If he came in there and his number one thing is, all right, I want that 400 bench, go for that 400 bench. I got no chance of placing or winning in this contest, but I want to do that. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, it's easy when you don't have options. But what if you're the lifter who could go for gold, but you decide not to?
Yeah, and people have done that too.
Absolutely.
I've seen it happen plenty of times.
I'm thinking here of Samantha Calhoun, who decided to go for a deadlift personal best and I think a record at the World Championship instead of trying to jump for the win. She made it. It's a great lift, but she focused on herself instead of on an external goal.
Right.
Those are things that people have to consider.
What happens on the platform should be the goal. And everything else, as you're saying, is external. And that's external pressures and those external goals have nothing to do with the flow of the competition and what's happening. It's like a round of golf. The particular golf course plays a certain way, but depending on pin placement and the weather and everything else, depends on how that round's going to go. The same thing here. Golfers don't go out and say, I want to shoot at this. They just want to get the win.
Okay, Noriega, 192.5, 424. Finishes out a short range of motion press. He's got it.
There we go.
I'm not sure how much is left for a third, but
let's see.
I would go 2.5.
2.5 probably, and just pick up that 2.5.
Yeah. At this point, with this competition, with this fight, better to lock it in than take the unsure thing. Vernon, after that shaky start, he's jumping 7.5, trying to make up some ground here on this third bench press, 155 kilos.
Yeah, and so where they stand right now at subtotal, Russell Orhe is up by 1 kilo.
So that chip might come into advantage in a little bit here.
Yep.
That chip coming from his successful national record squat.
All right, so any fractional plates that we use under 2.5 kilo, under 1.25 kilos, is called a chip, and we have ones that are half kilo and a quarter kilo. Can make up anything in between on a American record.
Too heavy for Vernon today.
Wow.
And I have a feeling he's just a little green to competitive powerlifting. This is a big competition for him at the Primetime here in Spokane, Washington. I have a feeling with a little bit more practice, a little bit more experience, he's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, he is going to be, and I think we've seen a lot of the bodybuilders come in here at first. They may be very strong, they may be cock diesels, we call it, but they still have that issue with kind of getting used to the platform and the way the performance has to be done. They come back second or third year, and they look like exceedingly different lifters if they put the time and work in.
Sean Collins not quite able to get that tie of his personal best at 160 kilos.
All right, Yangsu Ren's up now.
And in fact, for a lot of these lifters, I've seen them underperform over their lifetime bests so far on these third attempts. We'll see how things shape up. Yangsu Ren coming out. He's trying to tie his lifetime best here.
There's that smile we were talking about earlier, and it really shines in the deadlift.
Yeah, he's just so confident when he comes out here. A lot of people end up with nerves, and at least on the outside, what we can see, he looks calm and collected.
I know he definitely is, even on the inside. I mean, there's that nervousness, right? You get the butterflies, and you use that as part of your to get you that extra 3% that you can't possibly get in training. But as far as the confidence level, he is 100% as confident on the inside as on the outside.
You with a controlled descent.
Wow.
Great work. Yeah, that's a good call.
You did a great job.
Joe Stanek from the Strength Athlete in the corner. Rob Ali, 165 kilos, takes the bar to 363 pounds. Rob could surprise when it comes to the total. His best total, 725.
Oh, he's going way over that. But he took some decent jumps there. 7.5 kilos and 7.5 kilos, which is a bracket. I mean, that's a normal, it depends on the lifter, but that's normal for him. Now, see, there was a little bobble
What
there.
a
but
tremendous
did
fight.
the bar go down, or did he get it clean?
Oh, I love that.
Got it clean. There we
Wow,
go.
Rob did not have a chip, 0.5 kilos left in him
No,
on that
nothing.
lift.
Absolutely perfect, but he stayed with it. And when we were talking before about some of the people that lift during the daytime, one of the biggest things, they don't trust their own abilities. These lifters here in the A7 Primetime here in Spokane, Washington, they're willing to push through and trust themselves and know that they've got that little bit of extra in the tank.
So that lift for Rob earned him 6 for 6 so far. He's had a perfect day, headed into deadlift. We'll see what Marcus Adudu has here on 172.5 kilos, 380 pounds. Despite the rocky start on squat, that's a good third attempt for him at 172.5 kilos. He's happy with that.
Yep, definitely is.
So we've got the rest of our third bench presses here. We've got a 5-minute break coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about deadlift to come. We'll talk about some subtotals. And then we start for the 63-kilo deadlifts.
Yeah, and I think Premar kind of got a little greedy here on that. I kind of thought that call was a bit much based on where his first was, right? Not based on 7.5 being too big, because I just said for other lifters that's it's standard for them, for Ali. But based on his first, it did not look like he had 7.5 kilos in him.
Yeah, and that's really dependent on the lifter themselves. Shoulders set, glutes are set. Maybe it was a technical error because that looked fantastic.
Looked easy.
Yeah.
Looked very easy. But again, would you rather to have had him go 5 and 2.5, and then he's in exactly the same place he is now?
Exactly.
Now, I can see a theory of wanting to say, all right, I just want to have 2 shots at it.
Yeah.
I've talked to people that say stuff like that. Well, we'll take we want 2 shots at it. That's what guys do in a bench-only meet.
Sure. They
open with where they kind of want to finish, and they'll take 3 shots at it.
Yeah, I think that's really risky.
You and I are not like that. We're risk-reward people, right? I'd rather open with something I nail and then build it up.
Sure.
He could have finished in the same place having 3 made attempts instead of 2.
Okay, Jamar trying to take 177.5. This is the smart move. Rather than getting greedy and going over 400 like he had originally planned, we're looking for something he can make. Head comes up off the table.
And it's not happening.
Bench? No.
I mean, the reason that happened is because he knew he had nothing in there.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see if the head ref saw that. I'm sure he did. Head ref's paying attention to whether the bar stays completely on the way up, whether the head stays in contact with the bench.
You know what happened for him? Why he picked his head up? Because it's kind of like when you need a cold soda or a cold drink, and you get that old ice out of the back of the fridge, and you got to shave that little moss off of it. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
That head came up because he knew he had a mossy ice cube.
Yeah.
All right. Bong Mala Tech is up.
No Mozzie ice cubes at home, guys.
Yeah, mine come out of a door. I don't worry about that either. But I remember being a bachelor back in the bachelor days when I had the bachelor pad kind of thing, when you had the ice cube trays.
All right, Bomnorg taking 180 kilos, 396, just shy of 400 pounds. No, just not there today. He definitely worked for it. A little too heavy today. He'll get his second attempt. Taking the bar for Russell Orhe up to 190.
Wow. I mean, and this is smart. 5 and 2.5. I mean, these guys are being very smart. Yeah, I know, and he jumped up.
Yeah. You don't see this very often, guys. We see a missed second attempt and a jump to a third attempt that's a little bit heavier.
Right, and so I think he's probably splitting the difference. He probably wanted a 5-kilo jump, and that's why the 2, right? Mm-hmm. So it was a smart jump for the 5, but he's trying to make this up a little bit here.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see Russell miss 2 attempts so far. Doing some research on him, in his history in the USAPL and IPF, I saw 5 missed attempts. There we go, Russell.
Yeah, he doesn't miss attempts.
5 missed attempts over 7 competitions.
Now.
Walks away with the W. Stay in the pocket, Russell.
The only time in his life Russell Orhe has finished second, it was to Brett Gibbs.
Okay. And there's no one better to finish second to.
No,
Brett Gibbs, who set world record on world record at that competition.
But he has only been beaten one time, world championship, Brett Gibbs, who put on one of the greatest performances of all time to beat him, too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was just he got beaten by some guy.
Oh, no, he had to work.
Yeah.
All right. Our bench star in the heaviest bench press, Sean Noriega, 195 kilos. For a 183-pound lifter, lifting 429 pounds here.
And again, taking that very conservative 2.5 kilos to put it in. He'd rather put 2.5 in the bank than go out and gamble on some magic beans and try to get 5 kilos.
Yep.
Because he knows he's going to have to pull for the win. That's what he told me.
I think this is his limit for today anyways. Let's go, Sean. No.
Yeah, you could just see. And,
yeah.
and that's what you said about his third. Going into about his second, does he even have anything on his third? And we both said it's 2.5 kilos or nothing. And, I wouldn't take nothing there. But he tried that 2.5, and I don't think it hurt him.
Yeah, the good news is he really didn't drop much off the total. It's 2.5 kilos off. We saw Russell gain 5 kilos after having made that third attempt.
Right.
After having missed his second. So we'll see kind of how things shape up headed into deadlifts here.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting because everybody set this up. The top of both classes has been exceedingly smart in their attempt choices, and also have made their attempts.
Yep.
And so it's really huge. And these benches set up. These people made these bench presses. The pressure is on. Sean Noriega told me he's going to pull 320 to 325. That he's going to put that on the bar to pull for the win, and that's why he went that 2.5 kilos, because he wanted that to shift that. Instead of going 325, maybe you can go 322.5. So he wanted that 2.5.
Yeah.
That's one time where you can make up an attempt. Maybe he can pull a little more in the deadlift.
Right.
The other two, you really can't do it on.
So we're going to crunch some numbers. We're going to go to liftingcast.com, play the numbers game. If you want to go to liftingcast.com, play the numbers game too. We'll be right back after a brief commercial break.
All right. See ya. Okay, so
They say competing in powerlifting and running your own business is crazy. Yeah, I still do it though.
What's going on, guys? We are back at the Spokane, Washington 2018 Raw Nationals here.
The years do go by that fast in powerlifting, though.
I was looking at the records here. So, we're in here at Spokane, Washington. Just headed into deadlifts after a break, headed into our 63-kilo women's weight class.
Yep. So how you liking it? Everything good? All right, cool. He says he likes it. Uncle Kibble likes it. And if he likes it, it's got to be pretty good.
We've seen some fantastic lifting so far today. National records on bench press, national records on squat, unofficial world records in both. We're here to talk about how the totals might be shaping up for our competitive 63-kilo weight class.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the person that I'm most impressed with is Jennifer Milliken right now. And I talked about from her the way her first squat was. She just came out and was in total control.
Yeah.
And I think moving up from 57 to 63, she's able to compete at the exact same weight at which she trains. So there's no dropping any weight, the joints possibly getting sore. Yeah. And also the leverages are exactly the same. So it's working out for her. She's right now sitting projected after first attempt deadlifts at 475. Jen Thompson's only, and we say because we know she takes big jumps, but she's only going to be at 463.
Yeah, so if you guys are looking at the totals here on Lifting Cast, you can expect Jennifer to take a big jump up to her second attempt, which will totally change these totals and this forecasted total as we headed towards to see who's winning.
Now, if you think we forgot about Samantha Calhoun in our rundown, we didn't. The reason I saved her is because we're going to save the best for last, because after openers, Samantha will be in first place with 480 kilos.
And we know she doesn't play around. She takes smart attempt selection, and she will put whatever is on the barbell needed to win.
Exactly. I think all of these guys, this is going to come down to the pull, third pull, and even changes of attempts. We're going to see probably more changes of attempts in these two flights, 63s and 83s, than you're going to see maybe in a world championship, because it's that important here. They're that smart. All of them are great deadlifters. And here we go. We're ready within a minute and a half to get back to the contest. And as everyone knows, the meet doesn't begin till the bar hits the floor, and we're headed to the deadlift. And anybody who's been to a meet knows Gino Biancari, right? Captain Jack Sparrow loves it when the deadlift. He'll bring the hype, man. That room will be rocking, and we're going to see some stuff that we've never seen. And I'm willing to bet it's going to wind up being the best ever.
Yeah, I think so too. The big shape up here is really to see Jennifer Thompson and Samantha Calhoun, see who can kind of walk away. Jennifer Thompson being the winner for the last few years here. We want to see if anyone can unseat her to take that gold medal and go on to the World Championship. Besides that, that's fine.
All right, and we're back here at the A7 Primetime session on Friday evening at the 2018 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals here in beautiful Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, kicking it off. Bar is loaded. I think that's Abby Citron waiting to get out there.
Indeed it is. Opening at 150 kilos, 330 pounds. We're also going to watch as we move along. We talked about the top lifters, but also, too, Patterson and Scoville are locked in a heat at 417 after openers.
Yes, same exact subtotals leading into deadlift. And a few lifters just 5 kilos behind there, all fighting for 4th through 7th.
And trust me, there is pride going home saying you finished 5th instead of 7th.
Deadlift competition, split stances, unlike the others, sumo stance or conventional. Abby Citron with the sumo stance and the easy opener, taking 150 kilos for a ride.
Beautiful. Coached by Big Bill McCarthy.
Jennifer Combs, our next deadlifter, 155 kilos. Conventional stance. So there's our two stances. Conventional hands on the outside for our family and friends watching at home. If you're an uninitiated deadlifter. Powerlifting is one of the most accessible sports, being that you just need a rack, a bench, and a barbell. One of the reasons why so many people are getting into it. Arthi Neethi, fighting for that top 5 place, 162.5 kilo opener. She's a huge deadlifter. We're going to see some of that later on. 358 flying up on an opener. All right, we're going through these pretty quickly here. Here comes Brenna, coached by Joey Flex out of Orange, California. She's got 358, same load on the barbell.
And remember, she also passed on her third attempt in the bench. So we're going to see. Let's see after openers if she tries to make up a little bit of that she thinks she missed there.
Got a Titex bar and plates out there.
There you go. There you go. Good 2-1. That's all it takes.
So as a referee yourself, what was that red light for?
I think it's for lockout.
As Brenna just asks the side ref there.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It definitely was for a red card for lockout, so a red light. So
taking the bar up. This is not Stephanie. Yeah, Stephanie Scoville.
Yep,
170
Stephanie.
kilos.
And she's one of the ones who's fighting in there.
And the spread of openers in this flight is enormous.
Yes.
Starting off at 150 kilos with Abby and working our way towards 205 kilos. That's over 100 pounds difference in some of these lifters in the same weight class. All right. Jennifer Thompson's shadow opener here. Shadow because it's going to be so much lighter than her second attempt.
Yep. The biggest problem she's got to do here is control it so she doesn't bobble.
Right. And I think she does this to preserve energy.
Yes.
Or maybe I'm wrong. It's a little slower than I like to see from her.
Well, but let's see. Let's see what she puts on for a second. That's really what matters, and that'll kind of tell the story. All right, Scoville put in a 10 kilo jump in her second.
Here comes Solana Lewis. Anytime you get to open heavier than Jennifer Thompson. 380 pounds here. For the lifter out of Clifton, New Jersey. Got it. And quick work, too. Wiping the bar down between these attempts, make sure all the lifters have maximal grip. Sometimes chalk and baby powder mix, fill in those holes on that bar, and you just can't quite get the grip that you want. And if you're going for a max deadlift, the last thing you want is for your hands to start sliding on that barbell.
Oh, most definitely.
All right, Milliken building that total right up there in the mix. Every kilo counts on these deadlifts.
It's just opening a 177.5. I think her PR, I believe, is 193. So that kind of sets her up to exceed that, especially with that opener.
Oh, Jennifer's going to have some fun today.
Wow.
Doesn't even check the lights as she walks off.
Now, that's kind of the way you should be. Are you asking a question or are you making a statement?
Yeah.
If you're making a statement, you walk off the platform. And you just turn around if somehow it wasn't good, like why? And then you question.
Speaking of big deadlifters, Jasmine Penn opening up above 400 pounds, 185 kilos on the bar. All business. Jasmine, great lift. She's got a lot more in the tank on that one, just a little slow at lockout. But I think even on heavy stuff, she's going to be fighting for that lockout. Looked fantastic off the floor.
Unbelievable. Everybody's starting out great here in the deadlift. We'll see where we're going to go.
Getting into our heavier lifts.
Yeah.
Calhoun here coming out. Heaviest opener by a mile, 451 pounds. Samantha currently holds both the national and the world record in the deadlift. This is her specialty.
Most definitely. I mean, her world record is 221. She's not opening far from that. Look at that, how easy that is.
Yeah, she came here for the total.
And the control and the technique that these lifters are showing, both the women and the men in this session, is just unbelievable. It's continuing here in the deadlift, and they're putting on quite a performance.
This is the wrong load. There you go.
No.
I was thinking to myself, there's no one opening heavier than
Yeah, there's
than
extra
Sam.
there's extra reds on there, a little worrisome. It would have been even funnier if she would have pulled it and made it.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that at like local meets. There's a huge miss load,
Yeah.
and they pull it like an opener, and they're like, "What?"
Unintentional 100 kilo PR.
Yeah.
All right, here comes Jennifer Combs. First of our second attempts, 160 kilos. Am I right that everyone is in for a total?
Everyone is in for a total now.
All right, they finished the meet. Now it's time to see how they finish the meet. She's got 160. Abby Citrin started off as our first deadlifter, jumping a place, second deadlifter now, climbing the ranks.
Jen Thompson has taken a massive 25-kilo jump to 195. She wants to put this thing to rest. Everything's changing after these second deadlifts. Huge. It's going to be a major swing in what's going on here.
And we're going to be watching the scoreboard closely. Nice second. I think she waited for that down command. She's good to go on that. Yep.
All right, Abby Citrin, the load now 165. Oh, so Arthur Neathy loading 175 kilos.
Milliken with a big jump up to her second attempt. I think she jumped 15 there.
Yeah, and that's a good one, especially for her, the way that was set in there.
So we called that the winner is going to be having a total above 500 kilos. We're getting darn close to that now. If Milliken makes her second, she's at 490.
Yeah, the winner.
Jennifer Thompson, 488.
I mean, my prediction was not only are you going to have to go over 500, that two lifters are going to go over 500.
Yep.
It could be three, but I said two before kind of we got started. So let's see what happens here.
And Calhoun, 492.
That just, phew.
Currently, if everyone makes their second attempts, Calhoun's in the lead.
Yeah.
So, as we were saying earlier, we've got two chances to change our third attempt.
Yeah.
You need to submit a card up to the desk in time. So these, typically having been back there in these situations, all of the coaches back there are crunching numbers, looking at the scoreboard, trying to figure out what their lifter needs to pull to place how they want. Brenna Patterson, 175 kilos, 385 is a great second.
Just amazing. And, I'm privileged to be able to sit here. One, I'm privileged to just sit here with you, Bryce. But I'm just privileged to sit here and be able to watch this because, again, as I was saying, it makes our job so much easier. And we're seeing what people are going to be talking about. They're going to be talking about this session in 15 or 20 years. Do you remember in 2018, I wasn't there. Okay, why weren't you there? Be there in 19.
Yeah.
Right now, we got Stephanie Scoville up.
Speaking of which, 2019, Chicago, the next city for Raw Nationals.
It's going to be unbelievable. If we got 1,200 in Spokane, where are we going in Chicago?
Absolutely.
Scoville, that's a beautiful second attempt right there at 180.
Just below 400. She's going to crack that on a third.
Yeah, I don't, not sure where she's going to go with it, but all right.
Milliken's second attempt, just for comparison here, is just below her all-time best.
Right.
We're definitely going to see some new ground get broken for Jennifer.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah,
So if it comes down to the line, by the way, who do you think's got the pull?
I'm going with Jennifer Milliken right now, only because of the way her performance is today.
She's definitely built momentum up to this point.
Yeah, and I want to see. I mean, if it comes down to who can pull a big pull,
Yeah.
I'm putting the money on her to make something that maybe really, I wouldn't say out of her comfort zone, but it's probably actually out of her ability.
Mm-hmm.
I would lay money. I would lay 3-1 money right now on Jennifer
Let's
Milliken.
go, Milliken. And you know what? Looking back to Worlds earlier this year, I saw slow and controlled and amazing deadlifts from both Jennifer Milliken and Sam Calhoun.
Oh, yeah. They're both great deadlifters. It's so's Jennifer Thompson.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
she's right here 2.5 kilos above Milliken.
Right.
So a huge 25-kilo jump up from her opener.
Yeah. Well, and also, too, the best she's ever pulled is 202.5.
I'm really interested to see how this moves.
Yeah, and then see where he goes for her third. I'm willing to bet if this moves well that she's going to go to that 205, 205, or maybe even 207.5.
Yeah, and play the game.
Yep, gets above her best and also pads that total a little bit. But again, you can put in anything you want and play with the numbers here. Wow.
All right. Controlled, stays with it.
And it's funny, we had when you and I did this for Open Nationals here in May.
Yeah.
We wound up with the same kind of thing. We finished at the end. It's like we're getting a free front row seat to be able to sit here and talk about it and share it with the world.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jasmine Penn, enormous deadlifter. Just shy of 200 kilos, 197.5 kilos, 435 pound.
Jennifer Milliken went to 202.5, so she's taking a 10-kilo jump.
Jasmine, the young 22-year-old up-and-comer from Texas.
So Jennifer makes this. She really raises her personal best.
Nice. Knees locked out? Looks like. She's got it.
And all three of those lifters are handled by great coaches. We talked about how the coaching's got to be great, and the picking the numbers and trying to play head games with somebody because, it's kind of like poker. You don't play your cards, you play the man. And this is kind of the same thing. You're not playing your cards, you're playing the man. And the way you are able to go all in, right, and do something that maybe is outside of your comfort zone is to hit attempts leading up to that. Then you got a big stack, you can go all in. So right now, Samantha Calhoun's up 217.5.
Okay. She needs this. We've got forecasted totals from the two other lifters in contention for bronze, silver, and gold. Calhoun, the third to join that rank. I don't even know what her ceiling is. I think she's crossing 495 pounds on a third attempt. 3 whites. She's in for that one.
All right, now Jen Thompson went 210, which is more than either you or I thought we were going. I think we said, our outside was going to be where?
We honestly might see an adjustment from that on the third. Maybe she's forcing someone else to go heavier.
Definitely.
We don't know.
And actually wants to be able to drop back and make that pull. Drop back to 5 or even 2.5.
I think she wants Milliken to pull first, and then she gets to pull second after that. All right.
All right, so you were saying you think she wants to make Milliken pull first. What does she have in? Jen's got in 210 and Milliken's in at 202.5. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if they change those. Again, Donovan Thompson, Jennifer's coach, and Jennifer Milliken's coach, Wade Johnson, have both been in the game a long time and are as good as anybody. Right now, Abby Citron's up 177.5.
Meanwhile, a lot of these lifters finishing their meet. Abby Citron working so hard.
Wow.
No,
all
some
right.
up and downward movement on that.
Wow, and she's
Can't fight her at all. She was able to give every last ounce of strength on that one. Some of you guys may have noticed some urination there. That happens on heavy deadlifts. Just an inevitable part of powerlifting, as I think we're going to just take some bleach to that and clean that up for the next lifter. So looking ahead at forecasted totals, Calhoun, assuming everyone stays with these numbers, walks away with the win with 505 kilos. And Elliot, as you said before, now we have 3 lifters with forecasted totals over 500 kilos.
Yeah, I guaranteed 500 and for 2 going over 500 and did a push on 3 going over. It looks like all 3 are going over. So
yeah, and the only lifter whose number I think looks a little high for what they're capable of is Jennifer Thompson. I might be proven wrong here, but 210 is a pretty big lift for her.
And again,
considering that her best is 202. That's 7.5 kilo PR for a seasoned lifter.
That's huge, and that's why I was saying going 5 or 7. We'll see what happens. We'll see how this comes out. But she does get to pull last right now, right?
Yeah.
So that's
second to last after before Calhoun.
I'm sorry, before Calhoun, right? So it gives her a chance to pull and put Milliken behind her.
Absolutely. No.
You know, and look, and
everything she's got.
And so Jennifer Milliken put in a 10 kilo jump, and I think maybe Donovan Thompson just wants to see if that's kind of a bluff.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to kind of bluff where they're going a little bit and see who blinks first.
Arthi Nethi taking 185 kilos.
But remember you asked me who was the one person, if there had to be a lift made in the deadlift to win this thing, if there was a pull for the win, and my pick was Jennifer Milliken. I'm still sticking with that as far as who I'm going to trust in the deadlift.
Everyone here is fighting for every last kilo. Arthi just not able to complete 185 kilos, 407.
All right, Stephanie Scoville's up now, 187.5.
Scoville fighting for that top medal position as well.
Where's her projected?
She's projected 435.
And where was Patterson?
430, and she missed.
Wow. Okay. So that little battle then, if Scoville makes this goes to her right here, correct?
Yes, if Scoville makes this, she beats Patterson
by 2.5 kilos.
Fourth.
Stephanie just changed to 190.
All right. So she's jumping upwards?
Jumped upwards, another 2.5 kilos.
Yeah,
so
I think she's trying to overtake Solana.
So obviously the goal was not, we were talking about that, and she wants to move above Solana. So we were saying earlier, just because moving from 5th to 6th, 6th to 5th or 5th to 4th, that's a big thing in a national meet.
Yeah.
All right, here comes Stephanie Scoville, 190. So where does Solana standing right now in total?
Solana's projected 430. This will put Stephanie Scoville 437 ahead by a decent margin.
So it'll be interesting to see if she makes this, what Solana's going to do. Are they going to put in a change to move above that?
Yeah. Just putting some pressure on.
Nope.
Regardless.
It's
too
done.
heavy.
It wasn't going to happen. But, again, I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
It's a 20-kilo jump, and that's kind of big. But, again, that was the call in that position because you're trying to win the meet.
Absolutely.
Or not win the meet, but you're trying to win that battle. All right, Solana Lewis is up now at 192.5.
Places getting set here. Solana Lewis, 192.5 kilos. This is a 10-kilo jump up from her second.
All right, no one's made changes yet. So if Solana Lewis after this attempt, Jennifer Milliken must lift next unless she puts in a change.
Just too heavy.
Yeah.
Seeing a trend of a lot of missed thirds here as these lifters are testing their maximum potential, trying to secure places. Milliken,
all right,
one of our top 3. So far, 202.5, 446. This is well above her all-time best. She wants to break some new ground here. Put up the biggest deadlift she can. Let's go, Jennifer.
And we're doing this right now for Leo and Taylor Ann watching at home.
Wow. It's the biggest fight I've seen.
She didn't make it, but I'll still stick with my prediction. If I got to pick one person to pull something, that was going to be who it is.
Just off. What a fight from Jennifer Milliken.
Yep.
Giving her all.
Yeah, 200 I think she had there.
Man, looking at this flight, I think the lifter to win is the lifter who makes the third attempt.
Yep, exactly what we're talking. It's going to come down to pull on the third attempts.
Jasmine Penn, same load, 202.5 on the bar. Jasmine is out of the bronze, gold, and silver medal position. And I think she is secured in 4th regardless of this lift.
And here we are. Rubber hits the road in the last few deadlift attempts of the 63 kilo flight.
Jasmine Penn summoning all her strength for 446. Can she lock it out?
No, it's not happening.
That's so frustrating, being inches from lockout. Tremendous work from Jasmine Penn. Young 22-year-old lifter from Texas. We're going to see big things from her. Someone catch her before she falls. All right.
Here comes Jennifer Thompson. Now she has dropped back from 210 to 2075.
Okay. Not as much of a drop as I thought, but still a drop.
Where does that – I mean, that still puts her in a little bit of danger. I mean, it's a 12.5 kilo jump. But – I'm never going to bet against the multi-time world champion.
So what's happening is I think that Donovan, her coach, just thinks this is the most that Jennifer can pull, period.
Yeah.
Why put on more than she can pull?
I mean, she hasn't lost since 2013.
She needs the crowd. She needs you guys at home. She needs this 207 right here.
And what does this give her in total?
500.5 kilos.
Okay.
Exactly what she wanted from this competition.
And that magic number that we said being over 500. That is a great pull.
Unbelievable.
Attempt change just went in.
Yeah, they're going to put in the minimum they need to beat JT right now. They're going to drop to 501 or whatever the nearest 2.5 kilos is. 502.5?
Yep.
Nope. Because they have the national record, they can take a new national record, tie on total, and win on body weight.
Yep. So there we go about dropping. Talked about making attempts.
Replay on this massive deadlift and new personal record from Jennifer Thompson.
Jennifer, make her
fight. Let's talk about Sam Calhoun. Let's talk about going for 497 pounds. Let's talk about this being an unofficial world record, American record.
And pulling for the win.
Gold medal right here.
This has not been done since 2013. Someone taking down Jen Thompson. Let's listen to the crowd.
It's all focus from Calhoun. $495. She walks away with gold medal, unofficial world record, national record, and unseats Jennifer Thompson, and she's going to Sweden.
Wow. Unbelievable. That is absolutely amazing. I mean, we are not overselling this. We're saying that this may be one of the greatest sessions of women's powerlifting ever in the history of our sport.
And what a fight. Let's watch it again.
Wow.
I mean, she had more in her. I think she could have put in what they originally put in, but they put in just what she needed to secure the gold. That's good coaching.
That is amazing. Just unbelievable. You're seeing three superior athletes. All right. Tech is now opening at 260.
No time to debrief, going right to 83s.
And I'm telling you, we're going to see the same thing here in the 83s, folks. It might be even better.
Yeah. All credit to the lifters, by the way.
Right.
Everyone fighting in the 63s. That's a tough battle. That just makes it all the more sweet when you win. You know that you earned every last inch of that.
Oh, my gosh.
Congratulations to Calhoun.
I mean, she beat Jennifer Thompson, who is an all-time great.
Yeah, close to her best there, too.
Unbelievable. Yeah, an all-time great at her peak. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like her numbers are going down.
Absolutely.
All right.
We're going to see some huge deadlifts now for you guys watching the stream. Massive deadlifts. The bar is getting raised both figuratively and literally. Jamar Royster here, 270, just shy of 600 pounds. We're going to see north of 700 pounds here by the end of this.
Yep. And very typical of someone who's come from bodybuilding, they open the flight in the squat and the deadlift, and they're more in the middle of the pack or maybe even the bottom of the pack in the bench press. Good bench pressers have to kind of work on the rest of that technique.
Yeah.
Royster's on the board there at 270.
Yeah, I blinked and I missed that.
Yep. Very quick. Boy, we jump up fast, man.
We do jump up fast. We're going to finish just south of 700 on our openers. Primar, coming from Hawaii with his whole team, as you guys hear those horns. 600 pounds. Easy opener there, Primar.
Oh, awesome.
On the board. Rob Ali. And we're going to start to see how these subtotals shape up. The big battle being gold and silver. Russell or he, Sean Noriega.
6'11" opener from one of the lightest deadlifts in the flight.
Unbelievable. Rob's had a great day so far. 6 for 6. Doesn't look like he's slowing down now.
No, he makes his lifts too. And I think next year when we see him back here again, I mean, barring any injury or something else happening, family issues and stuff, I think when we see a guy that comes back here, obviously stronger, but we're going to see a significantly different physique on him. I think he'll be more filled out into the class, and you'll see him look harder and tougher and stronger and be just a much better competitor. Right now, Boston Sean Collins is up at 287.5.
All right, let's talk some totals. Looking so far, Russell and Sean separated by a narrow 6 kilos. 6 kilos. Remember, with that chip advantage from Russell, that's definitely going to come into play here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's interesting to note that our number 1 and number 2 are middle-of-the-pack deadlifters right now.
Yeah, exactly. But, again, they can jump up. They can jump up big.
They absolutely can. I know Sean will finish a little bit lower in this flight for sure. Vernon and Yang Su are going to put on a show here for deadlifts.
Oh, yeah.
Russell opens us up at 635. I saw this move pretty well in training a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, wonderful.
These are openers.
Lots of room there for Russell. Casual, 635. Followed directly behind by Sean Noriega, opening up just 2.5 kilos heavier. 639 for his opener. Again, it doesn't matter what training looks like. It matters most what's going on today. How do I feel today? What's the most I can get out of myself today?
I want to see what Sean Noriega does here in the opener and how it looks.
Lifters can move the barbell to wherever they want on the platform or can have it moved for them.
He's coming.
Smoke show.
He's coming.
As they say.
He's coming. It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Yep.
All right, Marcus Adodu's up now. 290 kilos. To-do. See how easy this opener is here for him.
It's our third heaviest deadlift.
Yep.
Got some big numbers going down today.
I like watching him lift.
Yeah.
I just, there's certain guys I like watching. He's one of those guys.
Yeah, he's a joy to watch.
Bam.
Wow. That narrow stance, that was fast. Yeah, he's on point today. He peaked well.
And again, what you'll notice about these people in the prime time is that their technique is spot on. Every attempt looks the same. Mm-hmm. It may look heavier, may look lighter, whatever, but the technique is exactly the same.
Yeah.
The only thing that's stopping them is force of gravity at this point.
Vernon Williams. For you guys watching at home, remember, all of these guys started as lifters who never did their first competition. And you can always enter at any time, enjoy the sport of powerlifting, start at any level, get involved, have some fun. Powerlifting is for everyone. Vernon Williams, speedy opener, 644.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
292.5 kilos. Yang-Soo Ren with our heaviest opener coming out of the deadlift Grand Prix at the Arnold in Columbus, Ohio, where he lifted equipped. Here he is raw, 683.
Absolutely crazy.
More than 7 plates on the bar for you guys using 45s, 310 kilos, smile on his face.
Now understand that he's opening at 310. The world record is only 225.5.
325.5.
Sorry, 3. I said 2. Sorry. 325.5. So I think he's coming for that.
Yeah, he's
nothing
nabbing
else.
that.
I mean, he's telling me he wants 340 today.
340 would tie his lifetime best, what he hit at Nationals last year.
Yep.
With a monster deadlift. So
that put a lot of people on notice because I mean, he's been around for a minute, but I think that really solidified him in everybody's imagination as someone who really is to be watched and emulated, and he's got his followers and.
Yep. Yeah, and remember, he's a weight class up from where he was last year, 74. He's an 83 this year. So we're hoping those extra kilos help him just put on a show here for deadlift. Bom Norg, starting second deadlifts, 267.
Yeah, and we were talking about Jennifer Milliken, that she's now really where her natural body weight is, and then that class, it's going to take Ren a couple of years, I think, to fill out and really fill into the 83 class, but we'll see a much different lifter in 3 years, again, physique-wise, filling out that weight class.
Little tough for a second attempt, considering he has had a great day so far.
Yep.
Probably play a little conservative for a third attempt, finish out good day. Jamar coming in for 280.
Jamar Royster, 280. What's his total right now?
Jamar's at 735 if he makes this.
That's crazy. 617 pounds. It's just a big deadlift.
Talking about jumps here. As we mentioned, Sean Noriega now finishing lower to the pack here. He's going to take 305 down a little bit later, a 15-kilo jump.
He's got a transition here. There's a lot of power lifters, that are really strong, and they try to make differences up.
Man, I'm just I can't even hold it in anymore. Looking at the subtotals again between Russell and Sean, we saw they were separated by 6 kilos at the start of deadlifts. Now they'll be separated by less than 4 kilos. So Sean is closing the gap on Russell.
Yeah, I'd always rather be the wolf after the antelope, nipping at the heels.
Not to discount Marcus Adudu, who even after a tough start in the squat is still in third place contention.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this, I won't say he was a lock, but Marcus kind of looked like he had a good hold on that bronze medal if he did what he could do.
Yeah.
If he makes mistakes, then it's going to be problems. Right now, Primar Namnama is up 290 kilos.
And imagine an extra 20 kilos for Marcus and how that might have played into his contention for a silver medal even.
Right, correct. If he took that third. Yeah.
Primar, did he get it? No.
Nope. Yeah, he didn't get it.
Couldn't quite lock it out. Yep. We need knees locked, hips at full extension, shoulders back.
Rob Ali is a great deadlifter. So he's taking a pretty massive jump from 217.5 to 292.5.
277.5.
277.
Yeah, you got it.
I've had no sleep this week.
Would have been an even bigger jump.
And I've been here for like 4 days already. Just nuts. I literally have lost track of the days. The only way I look up, honestly, is I look at the top of lifting cast, and it says it's day 2.
It's day 2.
And then I have to go day 2 is Friday, and then I know what day of the week it is.
Yeah. As you guys are watching, make sure to tune into the live stream tomorrow. We've got 72-kilo females and 93-kilo males, and then some massive battles shaping up at night for day 3 primetime.
Wow.
Rob there standing up with 292.5 kilos, 644.
That is awesome right there. All right. Interesting to see what he puts in for his third. All right. Sean Collins is in at 300, 661. Boston Sean Collins.
Getting the bar set. Magic deadlift number, 300 kilos, 661 pounds. massive deadlifts for these 83-kilo lifters.
Man.
These are big deadlifts for 93s.
Yeah, they're just big deadlifts, man. To me, a big deadlift's a big deadlift.
Absolutely. Oh, he's got so much more in him.
Yep.
See
No
another
doubt.
10, 12 kilos on that.
Yep.
All right. Russell, currently in the gold medal position, taking a 12-kilo jump up for 300 kilos. Same weight.
And where's Sean's total right now?
Right behind him, 787.5. Sean Noriega, we have to remember, is still a junior as well.
Yep.
So Sean could win the gold medal in the Open and in the junior.
In the junior, right? And he just graduated from MIT in May, I think, right?
Yeah.
So. Wow.
Russell is here
That's
to
amazing.
win.
That's amazing.
3
Wow.
white lights for Russell, 300 kilos.
Wow.
We're going to see what he puts in for a third and then play the numbers game again.
Yep.
We know what they put in for the third is not what they might lift.
Right. Yeah, and we have no idea. And Sean, again, narrows the gap.
All right. Marcus with that lightning fast opener coming back for a second attempt at 666 pounds, 302.
So there's Marcus. You know, and Noriega just got that 305, and he makes that 305. He picks up a little more ground. He doesn't make it. He's in a little bit of a pickle right there. So right now we got Marcus up, and then see what he does here.
Whoa.
Wow,
That was no slower than his first.
12 and a half. I don't know. Do you take the same jump to your third, or you even take a bigger? I mean, obviously, I've not seen him in training before, and I don't know if you have, but I don't know if he ever slows down.
He's not quite secured in bronze, though. He's going to have to fight off Sean Collins. Actually, he's going to have to fight off quite a few people. Rob Ali, Yangsu Ren. Who else do we have there? Bom Norg. This is, outside of gold and silver, a really tight competition.
Well, and, you know, that's the thing coming into this that Marcus had to contend with is, look, if he goes hunting for either silver or gold, is he going to keep himself at a bronze position, maybe wind up in fourth or fifth or fourth because somebody else snuck him from behind?
Okay.
All right.
Sean drops. It looks like a balance issue there.
Yeah.
Very, very fast. Lean forward a little bit.
You know, and that's a shame for him there because it wouldn't have been a stranglehold, but we picked up another 3.5 kilos.
Yeah.
Now he actually falls back a little bit, and it's Russell's kind of taking control of that.
You know what the crazy thing is? I don't think it's going to matter. The strength is there. It may as well have been a completed lift. He's going for the win anyways.
Oh, no doubt.
They're just going to put whatever he needs
There's
on
no
the bar.
doubt. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt. So we're going to see what's going to happen. And I'm still laying my money on Sean here.
Yeah.
But, you know, it throws it. Now, Sean could have taken control there, and it throws it back into Russell's hand because he's got to hit that 310.
Okay, here's the cool thing. They're going to have actually, we'll see what happens. They should have Russell pull first.
Yes.
So they can see what they need to pull.
Yep. So they're going to drop probably here.
Vernon Williams, as the bar continues to go up for our second attempts, 305, he's got 2 whites.
Yeah, and, you know, they gave a red card from the front, and I kind of agreed with that.
On the soft knees?
I did not think the knees were locked.
Yep.
Had I been the chief referee there, I would have given that. Obviously, we don't know what the side view looks like, but from the front, I probably would have highlighted that too.
All right. Yu Ren, 325. We're over 700 pounds now, 716. Smiles everywhere, crowd behind him.
Now, he told me this is the minimum he wanted to get out of this meet is 325. So if he hits this, I think he might take that big jump.
National record,
to 340.
Yep.
Yeah, throw it on the bar. Throw it on.
Yeah. Okay, so Coach Joey Flex back there, coaching both gold and silver lifters against each other.
It's a hard thing.
How does that work?
It's a hard thing to do, especially when you might flop and try to make each other pull for, you know, whatever happens because their pulls are right next to each other.
Well, a lot of this depends on you having information or thinking you have information that the other coach doesn't have. But when they're both the same person.
Exactly.
Here's a replay on this 716-pound deadlift from Yu Ren. Patient and then explosive off the floor. All right. Placings are shaping up as we get to third attempts. Bom Norng Tech, 600 pounds. Potentially the first time he's ever done this.
Yeah, it just wasn't going to happen.
Just not there. Always a good sign, shaking the referee's hands. It's a sign of respect. Primar missed his second. Right at lockout, as I remember.
Yep, exactly where it was. I'm going to try to make it up here.
And there's a change. Going up 5 kilos.
Yep.
Jockeying for placing here.
Okay, so that pushes. So Primar has to lift now. I'm sorry. Jamar's lifting here. 292.
So when you jump 5 kilos, the order always goes of order of ascending bar weight. So now we have to jump to a different lifter who's taking the middle weight in between.
So when you're deadlifting in a tight competition like this, you've got to be standing there prepared that you're going to might have to jump up and lift, a person or even two people earlier.
Absolutely. Yeah, someone might jump in front of you. All right, we've got numbers in contention. In 4 lifters, we're going to decide our gold and silver medal here, as Sean Noriega and Russell Orhe both have the same number put in at 310 kilos.
Yep.
Currently, Russell Orhe in the lead. If he makes it by quite a bit, Sean Noriega's got the same number elected.
Now, if Sean makes 310 and Russell misses 310, where do we finish?
Then Sean walks away with the gold, and Russell gets silver. Places reverse.
So we got to see that. That 5 kilos is there.
Coach is thinking, what is the most my lifter has? Jamar Royster, meanwhile, taking 292.5 kilos, 644. Sumo stance. Mixed grip.
He's got that bar out.
Yeah, it's a little bit out
in front of the bar. Yeah, it just didn't.
Very tough position to recover from.
So not only do you have to pull your shoulders back in farther, that bar kind of starts to drift away from your legs. And then everything pulls you forward, and it's a domino effect. All right, Rob Ali's up here, 297.5. All right. Clean the bar for Rob's third attempt.
Okay, we're in an interesting situation here where gold and silver medal are going to be decided before the end of the flight.
Right.
Unlike Calhoun pulling for the win in the last flight of 63s.
Yeah, we'll not out there. I mean, there's a pull for a win, but not the heaviest lift the way it is, right?
Yep. Rob Ali here, 655. Massive deadlift. Oh, right out of his hands. That's the heartbreak right there. You know he's going to spend 3 months doing grip work now.
Starting tonight. He's going to be up in his room. He's going to be up in his room doing grip work.
I only know from experience. I missed the 700 in competition and did the same exact thing.
Well, it's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to be a bit obsessive in this sport. This is not, I go to the gym when I want to and I do what I want. Everything's on a schedule.
Yeah.
You have everything laid out for you. You must be a creature of habit to excel at this sport.
Okay, Primar, same load on the barbell. And then we have Sean Noriega to follow, unless a change gets submitted. Team Hawaii behind him. Nope, just too heavy today. Glad he took it a shot. If there's anywhere to do it, it's at a national championship. It's too much today.
All right, here's where it all happens right here.
So do we see a change? Do we see Russell pull first? Or do we see Sean pull first?
Well, Sean's not going up yet. Haven't called the bar loaded.
And again, these two lifters are friends. So they're both friends and competitors, which is an interesting place to be. Who's coming out? Looks like it's Sean.
There he is.
310. 5 kilo jump up from a missed second. He's strong enough for it. Just needs to fix the technical error.
All right, and this will move him in front of Russell. Up, Marcus changed to 310.
Two reds from the sides.
Yeah, the bar definitely bobbled.
Blue light for bobbling on that one.
Yeah, it's an issue, and like, he's a friend of mine. I would have red lighted him on that. There's
I
no
did
doubt.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't know it yet. He thinks he got it and was there, but you could even see it was crooked, and the bar went up and down. At the top.
You can see that. Yeah. Certainly had the strength for it. Certainly the lockout strength. Speed was there. Let's take a second look at it here. Uneven.
Right there.
Possibly even a hitch too.
Yeah,
and you want to sell. You have to show that you're confident in the lift.
Yeah, and I don't know that he had it locked out, but I mean, I understand why he's upset. It was a strong pull, and it's not horribly wrong. But the fact is, it's wrong. It's either right or wrong. It's binary in that.
So what does that do to placings?
Because Marcus is now at 310. He pulls it. All right. So where does that put Marcus?
That puts him currently in the bronze medal position.
Okay.
Yeah. Yangsu is going to have to pull something heavier than what he has put in there. And he's already got 340.5.
340.5, yep.
Yeah, UU is going for the new national and world record. Not anymore. Down to 330 now after seeing Marcus Adudu pull.
Yep.
Your gold medal position lifter, Russell Orhe. 10 kilo jump, 310, 683. Locked it in, all smiles. New national champion, Russell Orhe. What a great fight between those two.
That was just amazing. The only would be better if they actually trained together.
Yeah, it would.
And we're coaching each other. I mean, I think you should go. No, I think you should go.
Yeah. Wow, what a tremendous fight for those guys. And it did come down to deadlifts.
Amazing.
Who knows what would have happened.
Final pulls, like what we said.
With Sean's pulls.
All right, but now Sean Collins is up at 312.5. We're not finished yet.
Now our three heaviest and last three deadlifts of this primetime session.
Boston Sean Collins puts a stamp on this session right here.
There's
on his
Sean.
Day. 3 white lights. That big smile he shot over there.
Dominant 688, 312.5. Okay, Vernon Williams, 327.5, north of 700 pounds, 622. Sorry, 722.
722, yep. And so Yang Su dropped from 340.5 to 330. What does that 330 give him now? That moves him in the which?
740, that will. That's going for fourth place.
Okay.
Tying Sean Collins on the total and probably winning on body weight. Let's check. Nope.
Yang Su's at 82.9.
Maybe they think it's the most UU has today.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Vernon Williams, our bodybuilder turned powerlifter, massive 722-pound deadlift. Just a weird bobble off the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that looks like he trained on a deadlift bar.
Usually, yeah, almost the way he tried to bend the bar.
Get a little bit of wiggle off that, or you train with a looser barbell.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
It's not going to fly when you have a stiff bar up there.
Well, and I don't think Ren had 340 in him. Let's see if he makes a change now before the bar's loaded.
Yeah, one more change. They went to 332.5 now.
Okay. My computer's running much slower. Not sure why. But
we've got 733 getting loaded here.
Okay. So they used both of their changes. Look at that smile. Look at him smiling back there. Oh, my gosh.
Okay. So this one is to move him into the fourth place position.
Okay, there we go. Let's see if we cap off just an amazing session of lifting.
Let's all watch this tremendous pull from Yu Ren, national deadlift record holder. Unofficial world record deadlift holder. Gave it everything he had, just stuck at the knees. That's a tough place.
Unbelievable.
What a fight.
I mean, he obviously didn't have that 340 in him.
No.
But that was a smart move. He was trying to pull for fourth place, and I really think you're going to come in and see a much different physique. I mean, he's not as solid as he's going to be, and it takes usually. How long did it take you when you moved up from 93 to 105?
A good year and a half to really feel comfortable.
Yeah, and I think so. It'll probably be the same thing from him, and I think we might see the same kind of development in him moving up that we saw from you to 93 to 105. Yeah. So let's do a brief recap here before we start going to our award ceremony. So let's talk about the 63 women first.
Oh, my gosh. Tremendous and unexpectedly amazing performance from Jennifer Milliken, making the top 3 positions much closer than we expected going in.
Right.
Jennifer Thompson and Samantha Calhoun and Jennifer Milliken all battling each other. And a new national champion, Samantha Calhoun.
Unbelievable. So how many?
And it took a 5-plate, near 500-pound deadlift to make it happen.
Absolutely crazy. What was Jen Thompson's final?
We've got to look up the final scores here in just a minute as we talk about those, but just unbelievable.
She went to.
Here's Milliken at 490.5. Here's Thompson, 500.5.
So we had 2 over 500.
Yep.
Right, and so that was kind of where I said that's kind of where my number was 2. I think we're going to be over. It's going to take over 500 to win this.
And Jennifer Thompson walks away with her goal of over 500 kilos on the total as well.
Yeah, and so both of them are going to represent the U.S. at Classic Worlds. So Jennifer Thompson will be in the M1s, and we'll have Samantha Calhoun will be in the Open. Depending on what happens with the makeup of the team, they could both be in the Open and battle again for gold and silver.
Absolutely.
At IPF Classic Worlds next year in Sweden.
Actually, a similar story now that you mention it. I think we're going to see Sean Noriega representing juniors in the 83-kilo class.
More than likely.
As we see Russell Orhe represent the Open. So both of them win in the sense that they both get to go to the World Championship.
Yeah, and I have a funny feeling they'll have their own little internal competition as to who finishes with a higher total, and they may even make themselves a little trophy and not to swap it off or something, some little totem to go back and forth, even though they're not going to technically be in the same class. They're still going to be competing against each other because they're best friends, and that's what best friends do.
Yeah, they're very close, and they're going to be close for years to come. So exciting to watch them today, exciting to watch them going forward. Guys, thanks for tuning in with us. It's been a pleasure to announce this fantastic competition. Stay tuned tomorrow for 72-kilo women's weight classes. Some amazing lifting. Again, new national records, new unofficial world records. We'll see the 93-kilo men compete there as well. Just fantastic lifting across the board.
All right. Thanks for me, Elliot Feldman.
I'm Bryce Lewis. Been a pleasure to be with you guys.
All right. Have a good night.